Why is it not next to your computer at all times?
I bring it to school, and then I bring my mouse to school, then I forget that the mouse is in my carrier, then I lose the mouse, and then I find it right in the middle when we're playing. This time I think I lost it for reals.
We need to get you one of those like keychain things, to stick on your mouse, so when you lose it, you can find it again.
For the amount of
you're
money
not
you would
attached
spend
to
on
the
that,
mouse.
let's just get her a second mouse.
Fun fact, actually, I kept losing my keys, so my grandmother bought me something that attaches to my keys, and I have to download an app to find my keys. The thing is, I need to charge it, and I also lose my phone a lot. So
My God.
I one time
How-
thought I lost my book
So
at
what
work.
I'm
and
hearing
it was
is
in my
Rachel
credit
is a semi-functioning human.
card. Yes.
Well,
So-
she's currently sitting on her door stoop, locked out of her own house, where the mouse might be.
It's true.
At least we know the mouse is somewhere in this world.
Hopefully.
Well, maybe.
All right, we're gonna have to cast the locate object spell until we're within 1,000 feet of it, and then we should be able to find it.
Does anyone know legend lore?
I mean, if we have somebody powerful enough to cast that, they can just cast find object.
I'll just
We'll just make Agrimar make a new one.
Do you know any wizards capable of casting 6th level spells, Rachel?
Sadly no.
Where the hell are we?
I mean, do we truly know where we are? Descartes
No, I
once
don't.
said,
It's
"I
in
think,
Sir
therefore I
Village.
am,"
Oh,
and
no.
devils and shit.
I mean, yes, I know we are on the East Blue Sea. I definitely know that.
Yeah, I was going through my island notes trying to figure out where the hell I was.
We are in the East
So
Blue.
lost. So lost.
We were on an island named
Old
after
island,
Scooby Doo.
Named after Scooby Doo.
And now clearly we need to find a devil fruit for everybody, so we can just be an entire party of freaks that can't swim.
Certainly possible.
He can't swim. But it's cool because he has floating armor, so he should be fine.
Yeah, really lucked out with that one.
You did.
If Erling falls in the ocean, he's literally just gonna be like sitting there like, somebody in a life vest. Like, who's not trying to swim or anything. He's just like, alright, can somebody come get me, please? I'm completely helpless.
I can't move my arms. These antlers are really
Will he
heavy.
still be a Wendigo in that armor if the ocean unable to move?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
that all checks out.
The doll will be floating right next to me.
Oh, God.
Rookie
Enough with the doll!
We need to keep track of how many people mention the doll. So far, 2 times.
All right. Well, just sent Ben a text. I haven't heard from him yet. So, we can continue where we left off, and if he jumps in, he can jump in. So, we left off with you vanquishing the foes beneath the alchemist's mansion and recovered some notes about signaling a pirate ship to come and pick up goods, and you received a devil fruit after destroying the alchemist apprentice skeleton dude, which Erling consumed said fruit and turned into a gigantic demon, nightmare, creature of myth and legend. And you were preparing to either head back onto shore to discuss compensation from the ruling body of the island or some other form of adventure. So I'll leave that to you guys.
Right. So we better get paid.
I am all for going to get paid. I do think we should probably go tell them that we took care of the mansion ghost problem. But the other mansion might be another problem we might want to save for a rainy day or something, even though my really good friend that we met earlier here really wanted us to help him with his girlfriend. But, you know, I mean, there's more seas to be seen and, you know, other things that live inside Creek Garden mansions that probably need to be taken care of. But
don't
I'm
know.
all for going to
Today's
talk to
been-
the inn.
Today's
If we
been
don't
pretty
take care of
rainy.
it now, we probably won't come back for some time.
You caught on to that, did you?
What?
Said you caught on to that, did you? Okay, I'm going to go speak to what's her face that you guys talked to without me earlier to tell her we take care of the ghosts.
What was her name?
I don't remember.
The innkeep?
No one told me, I don't think.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll just we'll call her Mary, and
She
maybe
runs
she'll
the inn,
correct us.
the
maybe
inn and
she-
the general store, and we have both stolen from her and helped
Lady
her.
Bond.
Lady Bond.
Ah, I was going to say Bob, but no, that's
Bobette?
the problem.
Boblins elsewhere.
He's swabbing the poop deck. Okay, that's easy enough. So the next morning you can get on your rowboat and row to shore. Easily enough. You haven't seen any, through the night's watch, you did not see any additional ships land, either by the cove that you saw in underneath the mansion or in the surrounding area. So it seems like you're the only ship to land at the moment. And so if you choose, you can land upon the shore and begin heading into town.
Right into town.
Following your lead, rookie.
I will lead, even though I have not been in town really yet, so I'm not really sure where I'm going.
You've
But-
flown over.
follow
You've
me.
flown over the town, so you would know that it's
Okay.
in the middle of the island.
Okay.
Wait, just before we go in, can I put on my old lady disguise again?
Eagle 1 reporting in.
Okay.
Yeah, so Penala gets her hunch on and throws her hood up and looks like the witch from Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, and
Yeah.
begins hobbling up the long ramp to the town. And it's a peaceful morning. You hear the birds chirping. The sun is glistening over the dew-struck trees and grass throughout. So it's giving a very nice, pleasant retirement atmosphere. Not a lot of hustle and bustle as you guys get up to the village proper. And you see there in the center your familiar stomping grounds of the cafe, the Mesh Cafe, and warehouse there in front of you.
I'm gonna go straight up to the cafe, open both doors if it's a double door, and just stare right at whoever I see first, which I assume would hopefully probably be the owner. Just say, "It's your lucky day today."
Hello. Pleasure to meet you.
Good morning. pleasure is all yours, I'm sure. We are here to announce our success in defeating the problem you guys were having, and we're here to collect our hefty reward.
What problem are you referring to?
Your ghost problem.
Rookie just kind of looks at Iskari like, you're the one who said, like, I'm not really familiar exactly with this.
Oh, Iskari really lays on the sarcasm on the word ghost.
Oh, you
killed them again.
you took care of the ghosts. Oh, that's fantastic.
I mean, they weren't really ghosts. But
Oh, they weren't?
Yes. No. She like says it like very derisively.
That's good. Well, I'm sure this is a matter for the Lady Kaya, but between you and I, what was it?
Goblins and pirates. Goblin pirates, if you will.
I see. That makes
Captain.
sense.
What was the captain's name?
Kuro.
Kuro.
Captain Kuro.
We've dealt with the ones that were at the mansion, but we still need to deal with the pirate ship. That is been the reason why the ghosts seem to come and go. It's because they just come to your island and steal from you.
Captain Kuro. Yeah, well, the lady will have to give you permission to do a privateer action on the island, but Captain Kuro, he was captured by the Navy 3 years ago.
Maybe somebody's using his name.
Maybe he escaped.
Yeah. Captain Axehand Morgan was the one who captured him. And matter of fact, he was the lone survivor. He was the reason, or the capturing of Captain Kuro is the reason they gave him his rank of captain.
Huh.
No idea. We'll have
How
to
did he get
lure
out?
the ship in, and maybe we can confront Captain Kuro, because we didn't confront the captain, right?
I'm sorry, what?
We didn't confront the captain, right?
I-
As far as we're aware.
Yeah,
I
you
thought
have
we
no
did.
way. I don't think any of you.
I would assume the captain's on the ship.
Yeah,
I know
Right.
that we talked about using that light thing to lure him in, but I don't think we ever actually lured him in to, like, catch
I don't think you.
No, we
we
never
were gonna
did.
rest up before that.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
any of you have confirmed whether Django was the captain or not.
Right, yeah, so we're not 100% sure on that, but we need to still intercept that ship.
Because I don't think anybody in the party has been a pirate that long, right?
No.
Specifically.
If we can put an end to that ship, then we'll put an end to your ghost problem.
Oh, what? I would sure appreciate that. I hate having my wares unceremoniously taken.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty bad.
Yes, who would do such a thing?
That's actually terrible.
Well, would you want me to send a runner to the mansion for you to let them know? Or would you like to try to brave it yourself?
Oh, a runner would be great.
Okay, then please have a seat and I'll get a runner for you.
Speaking of runner, have you seen Claudor since yesterday?
She kind of looks outside through the windows. He hasn't come for his morning errands yet.
Is it odd for him to be late?
Extremely. But she not having an actual clock. I don't think he's late yet. Because when you guys arrived the previous morning, you guys arrived a little bit later.
So
Than
you're still
this morning.
expecting him to arrive then.
Yes. He comes every morning, doing his due diligence.
And has he been seen in town since yesterday afternoon, yesterday night?
No. He does his errands and heads promptly back to the mansion, where he oversees care for Lady Kaya. He's a very punctual man.
Yes. Well, I hope he's in good health.
I have never seen him sick a day since he's been here on the island.
Oh, well, if he's late. He might be sick.
Let's hope not, for the lady's sake. She needs her medicine. I will get a runner, and I will have a plate of food and some drinks for you all, and just sit tight. And I'm sure an emissary from the mansion, if not Clahador himself, will come and see you. So she gathers an ample breakfast and says it is on the house for dealing with the current threat upon their peaceful village. And she just gets like a 10 or 12-year-old boy, sends him the message, sends him to the mansion. And you figure with how far the mansion is and how far the boy has to run, you have maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes before the message is received and someone will start making their way back.
It reminds me of Critical Role. I need a boy.
I need a boy. Got a sack full of coins, and I need a boy. So if there's nothing pressing that you guys want to do in the meantime, over breakfast, discussing
Perhaps
personal lives.
Nothing pressing. But what became of this captain who subdued Kuro? The one promoted to admiral, I believe you said?
Captain, the Navy officer?
Yes.
He was but just a standard soldier in the Navy, and he was the lone survivor after the capture of Captain Kuro. Everyone else had died, and he had turned him in and became captain from just a seaman level. And the Captain Kuro, as far as I understand, was taken to Impel Down, the great sea prison of the Navy.
Impel Down?
IMPLE, I believe. Let me double check that. Sorry, IMPEL Down, DOWN. And there you go. You would know that this, everyone would know about the Impel Down. It's the underwater prison, or the Great Prison as it's known, is a government-controlled stronghold that is in Paradise, which is the next level of the Grand Line, or the first level of the Grand Line, was put together with the Marines to form a Bermuda Triangle-esque power hold over the Grand Line, where they have the Navy HQ, Impel Down, which is their great prison, and another location, which I believe is the government headquarters. It forms like a triangle of power in the Grand Line.
Sounds like a lovely place.
Yeah, it is where the most heinous of criminals are taken. They have 6 levels of dastardly pirates, for the most part, in there, with level 6 being many, many meters below this sea level, where if they ever were to escape, they would have to go up many levels and or try to swim in the crushing depths of the water below.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I bet they throw a lot of parties there, huh?
I
Like a
don't
place to
think so.
hang out.
As far as I
Imagine
understand,
it's-
there's only been one known escape made from Impel Down in its entirety of construction, which has been there for many hundreds of years. It's the most secure place
What?
in the Grand Line.
Who was the one that got away?
The Golden Lion, Shiki. He was a fearsome pirate who rivaled Captain Gold Roger. They often fought for dominance, and more often than not, Roger won, but Shiki held his own. He even once took on the Marine headquarters and almost brought it completely down by himself.
Sounds like an interesting character. Like, was this like recently, or was this like way in the
Holy
past,
shit!
or-
I just realized I've been muted this whole time.
Oh, well, hello, Nick.
Oh, what?
No, the breakout happened 40 years ago.
Iskari's gonna ask what stopped him from conquering the Marine headquarters.
From destroying Marine headquarters?
Yes, what stopped him? You said he.
Oh,
had
well, I believe, if I know my history correctly, it was the 2 vice admirals in charge. Sorry, an admiral and a vice admiral, who are extremely powerful, just barely defeated him and was able to get him in sea stone handcuffs to limit his powers, and were able to incarcerate him. But it was a long, arduous battle.
Can you put this dude's name in the chat?
Yep. That is the
And
pirate.
Does the Golden Lion Shiki still live?
As far as I know, after he escaped Impel Down, he hasn't made a move on the world government or anybody else, so supposedly he is.
And before being sent to Impel Down, was the Golden Lion known to have been eaten a devil fruit?
Yes, he did eat a devil fruit. He had the, well, when he was captured, he had his legs severed, so that way he could not run away, but he had eaten the devil fruit of levitation. He could float objects that he had touched, and if legend tells the story, he has a floating ship, an island that he floats above the oceans, and that's why the Navy and, quite frankly, any other pirate hasn't seen him since.
You don't say.
Yes, that's why he presented such a problem to the Marine headquarters, is because he could levitate giant boulders or mountains even, and then drop them at his will. He was quite the formidable foe.
Iskari's gonna like lean over to Erling Zane, and she's just gonna whisper to him, and she's just gonna say, "These devil fruits can do quite a lot."
Yes, they certainly
Still
can.
to have a wide range of powers.
Oh, hello, Forex.
But it also seems that even a prison at the bottom of the ocean isn't the worst place for someone who loses their ability to swim.
Oh, hadn't considered that.
Means this golden lion is even more dangerous than I would have expected. To be the only known escapee of an impenetrable underwater prison with a floating
So,
island ship.
But
So,
luckily, we're not really enemies of them, so what beef do we have with them, right?
She'll like cock an eyebrow and say, dangerous. Why do you say dangerous? To who? Us? We're not in this world government.
To anyone who might hold such treasure that he deems valuable. As a pirate.
Also, this was like, what, you said 40 years ago? He's probably an old geezer by now and wouldn't be able to hold his own. Actually, there'd probably be some good treasure in it if we went and tried to find what his stash is.
I would wager to say that anyone who can grow old in this profession is worth fearing.
So you would know that the average lifespan of like humans in general is far longer than standard humans. So like a human in this world would live to be 150 or 170.
I'm still
That's
gonna
why
And
go
a
the
with
pirate
so
that
old.
lives that old.
And a pirate that lives that long is something to be feared. Because they're hunted not only by other pirates, but by the world government. So 2/3 of the world is usually hunting the strongest people.
You guys, you know what I forgot? Iskari's still wearing that top hat and goggles.
That's
I mean,
right.
you're looking pretty dope.
Pretty dapper.
She looks very official doing her business.
Yeah, very dapper. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can give you a
Steampunk
mustache.
Kunari, I love it.
And it kind of leans to the side because you only have one horn, so it looks especially dapper.
I'm gonna make her an offer she can't refuse.
Do you have any questions about pirate lore? I can give some assistance.
How do you know so much about pirates?
A lot of famous pirates have come from the East Blue. And so rumors reach back to us, as well as we receive information from the news pelicans that come through, and they relay important events that happen.
Iskari turns to Erling and she like just mouths the word pelican and like question mark.
Do these pelicans bring any news about the killer pirates? Last I had heard, they were trying to find some sort of passage across the border.
She says, let me see. I'll have to go and pull some of the older news articles. And she goes back into the warehouse where she pulls some documents.
Start stealing everything.
Load up her own wagon.
I mean, we already did that.
No, bring it back.
And be destroyed.
And what she pulls up is a couple of wanted posters.
We shouldn't stay here very long.
And let me just pull these images up real quick.
Is anyone wanted right now? Everyone's got to fess up right now.
What do you mean by wanted?
Are any of you wanted criminals?
Yeah, that's good to know.
Better question. Who's
Who's
better
not
question,
wanted?
Who's not a wanted criminal right now?
That's a question for the DM. We may never know if we're actually wanted.
Well,
I'm not wanted for anything.
I don't
That I
believe.
She like points at 4X and says that, I believe.
As far as your all's backstories are concerned, I don't believe you did anything to warrant being wanted.
Whew,
Not
okay.
yet, at least.
So,
Not yet.
So Erling, she pulls out a wanted poster. This guy on the bottom here with the mask and the two sickles
The
on
art
his hands.
style of the show.
It's great. It's a great art style. The guy on with the blue mask and the two sickles on his arms is Killer. That is his code name. He is the leader of the Killer Pirates, and she pulls out this wanted poster and sets it in front of you. So, this is the leader of the Killer Pirates, Killer. And from what I understand, he has joined forces with Captain Kidd, which is the guy with the red hair and no eyebrows. And Captain Kidd is a formidable devil fruit user. He has the power of magnetism, so they say. And he has been running amok in the North Blue, I believe is where you're from.
That's right.
Yeah, the
No,
North.
that's where Iskari's from.
South Blue. South Blue is where Erling's from. And they have been running amok in the South Blue and gained a considerable bounty each. They're both in the supernovas category, where these
Supernova.
they were upstart pirates that gained considerable bounties in a short amount of time. Each one has a 10,000 gold bounty on them.
Are bounties the way that the pirates distinguish themselves among each other?
Yeah, it's kind of like a power level system.
And they are both over 9,000.
Exactly. They're over 9,000! Yes, they are both over that threshold. There's, I believe, 9 others that have a rookie bounty before they even met the hardest of seas.
I was gonna say, Iskari like points at Rookie. Rookie,
Does
you
Rookie's
said you
feathers
didn't
turn
have a
red?
bounty.
Yes, they have.
Rookie takes Sakari's hat and puts it on. I'm not Rookie anymore.
Yeah, so there were 11 young up-and-coming pirates that proved to be considerable threats to modern civilization. And enormous bounties were placed upon their heads at a very early start.
I bet they wouldn't have run away from a boulette cave.
No, most likely not.
We voted on that.
Twice.
Twice.
And twice you lost. So...
I bet they would have left a creepy doll in the freaking haunted house that it belongs in, too. Just saying.
Oh, third time.
You're right. Perhaps we have been gifted the light of fortune.
So, if you guys don't have any other questions, then we can move on to the next part. Any other questions?
What do you do with the drunken sailor?
Early in the morning, we make him pay his tab and kick him out.
Ah.
Anything else?
Has the Sniper King been around here since the other day?
Yes, Monty. Monty. He hasn't cried wolf this morning. I suppose he's either ill or busy concocting a new story.
I noticed he was missing on our way up from the shore.
Oh, the child.
Yeah, usually he comes in every day, but he hasn't been in today, so... It's a big relief for the village, having some peace and quiet first thing in the morning. So after a little bit of time, you see a representative from the mansion. They are wearing a black suit with a like a blue undershirt and a black tie, and they're wearing sunglasses. And they say, "Captain, not Captain. What am I saying, Captain? The Lady Kaya would like to see you, as well as Mr. Clohador and Mr. Mary at the mansion promptly."
Does this guy look like he's armed? Like, are there any visible weapons on him?
Make a perception check.
16?
You see that underneath his coat, you see that there is a sizable distortion in the fabric that you assume to be some form of weapon, but it is cleverly hidden.
Oh, I really want to make a joke.
How big is this guy?
About 5'10".
I'm not worried. Okay.
He's got like slicked back black hair, awesome sunglasses. He looks like someone who could hold himself. He doesn't look like a frail man, like a businessman. He just looks like a professional.
He looks like a guy from the Matrix.
Keanu Reeves?
That's where my head is going.
Wait. No, you're talking about Mr. Smith. He's a very Mr. Smith kind of vibe.
Not
to him.
Morpheus?
Not
Agent
Morpheus.
Smith.
Agent Smith. Mr. Anderson.
That's what I'm imagining in my head. So.
Yeah, he's got a kind of Agent Smith vibe to him. If you would all
Okay.
follow me.
Let's go see this name I forgot.
Lady Kaya.
Lady Kaya. Sounds interesting, right, guys? Should be
If
fun.
that is your real name.
Let me make sure that I have this person. One moment. I need to grab my thumb drive. I'll be right back. Quick break.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
So what other kind of devil fruits are there?
At least 372 other options.
Jeez, that is so many.
I'm just gonna say that I think someone got the short end of the devil fruit.
You're telling me.
Could have levitated mountains. Instead, you turn into a creepy little dingo thing.
I mean, that's
These
what you
other
get for
guys are doing
saying choose at
magnetism.
random, though. Why did you have him choose at random? He could have chosen a thematic one for you. That would have been way cooler. Like, oh yeah, no, he could create things out of thin air and then throw them telekinetically with his mind. But no, you were like, pick randomly.
Because you decided to pick randomly, you would have had the power of wind.
Oh.
Could have made wind at will.
You would have been able to, in game terms, cast any spell that had wind in its title in the game,
Including cutting cheese.
as well as turning into an air elemental at a certain level. So, sorry.
I figured for
Wait.
sure you would have just given him the rubber band one.
It is taken and is not available for him to eat.
Don't have to.
You mean we're not actually the Straw Hat Pirates?
You're not.
I don't believe you.
Well, you're
We're
gonna have
the
to find some more
Scooby-Doo
devil
gang.
fruits.
We
Yeah,
solve
we're
mysteries.
Mystery Inc. I don't know what you're talking about, 4X.
We solve
We
mysteries.
We don't even wear hats.
Yes, we do.
I mean,
Iscari like
So
points
Scary
at
does.
Rookie's head.
If
It's
we're not the
on
Straw Hat
Rookie.
Pirates,
It's on Rookie's
why are
head
we
right
saving,
now.
You know, Iskaya, because someone else already saved her.
All right, I'm trying to find. I think I have a picture somewhere. I don't know. I pulled all my images from work, so I'm trying to see if I have it. I don't think I do. All right. So you come up to this beautiful mansion. It's very. I want to say it's very colonial in architecture.
Okay.
It's got nice pillars in the front. It's a very like rectangular building, very tall and very
Plantation style home.
plantation style. Yeah, plantation
Okay.
style colonial building. And it has a nice wrought iron gate that's about 7 feet tall that goes around, that has a nice brick facade on the bottom, and a hedgerow that goes on the inside of the wrought iron gate. So you can kind of just see through a very fancy wrought iron actual gate, not just the fence around. And let me see if I can pull up an image here. Give you a
Is
little
there
bit of
any
visual
chance
aid.
Lady Kaya wants to meet out in like the courtyard or something, out in the nice breeze, open air, get some fresh air in her lungs type scenario, so we don't have to go inside? Maybe, just perhaps, possibly.
I'm sorry. What are you asking?
Does she want to meet out in the courtyard instead of inside? Just just a thought. It's nice out. Don't have to go inside to a cramped, dark, dull.
It's not
Stuffy.
even.
Are you afraid of going inside
underground.
now?
No,
Are
not
you
like
chicken?
no, but it's just been a while since I've enjoyed the air. Just figured there's just a question, guys. Okay?
There might be a courtyard, but you think that it might be just a relatively large house. Oh, I found a good image here. Let me just get this real quick.
That's fine. It was just like just a thought. Just figured I'd throw it out there since we were walking.
Looks like someone's a chicken.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So.
now, okay.
And let me get Lady
Chickens
Kaya.
can't fly.
I'm sure I have these uploaded already, but I don't have them. So you come up to this mansion here. You should be able to see that there. It's got a nice balcony in the front.
Country home I would have as my
Yes.
second house. If I
Yes,
were
it is quite beautiful. So I'm actually going to replace... I'm going to put this image here over the house, because it is far better than my measly drawings.
I mean, I wouldn't say far better, but
I like the drawings.
So, so you pull up to this house and you see that there are numerous guards that are patrolling the inside of the gate, and there's also 2 guards just inside the gate, and there's maybe 3 or 4 guards that are patrolling the interior of the fence around the property. And these 2 guys are wearing business suits. One of them is a little bit taller, maybe about 6 foot, and lanky, wearing the black suit, but he has a white shirt and a green tie and a goofy little goatee. The other guy is a little bit darker in complexion, a little bit stockier, about 5'10"-ish, white shirt with a red tie, and they're both standing there waiting for you. The guard ahead of you says, "Let us in. They're here to see Clahodor, Mary, and Lady Kaya." They kind of just nod their head, and they both unlock the gate and pull it open and usher you in. As you walk in, you see that there is wonderful fruit trees. Yes! There are wonderful fruit trees kind of speckled Very pristine fruit trees speckled along the interior, as well as one very large tree that kind of overlooks a balcony window. Or a window on the second floor, I should say. And you walk up to a nice, like, 7-foot double door with intricate ram's head door handles. And it's like a white with facets on the door. And the doors just open up before you head, just before you even knock. They just open up and you can walk right into the foyer.
Neat trick.
Yeah. And as you walk in, you are greeted by a sheepish man, I should say. And he bows his head deeply. He has a white perm with what looks like goat horns, or ram's horns on the side of his head. And he says to you, "Hello, I am Mary, keeper of the house and protector of Lady Kaya." He kind of looks like a lamb, almost. And I have an image here, and I can show it to you now. I heard of what you have done, and I appreciate everything. The Lady Kaya is pleased that you have dealt with the heinous crimes against our lovely village. And this is Mary.
He looks like Rick.
I thank you so much, and the Lady Kaya does as well. Klahador, he kind of leans in and whispers. Klahador, on the other hand, is perturbed, as he always is. I don't think he's had his bowel movement today. Anyway,
It's probably because he has to stick up his ass.
I agree. Just don't tell him I said that. If you would follow me, the Lady Kaya's welcoming chamber is upstairs and to the left. And he leads you up this grand staircase. It's a seashell in shape, so it's got the radius at the bottom, and it curves up to a single landing that splits off left and right, up. As you get to the landing, you see that there is an intricate, like, archway mural, almost like the old, like, stained glass, where it's square at the bottom and the sides and comes up to a rounded point at the top. And it shows a young girl with light blonde hair and two older, an older couple, which you presume to be her parents. A stoic man with a strong jaw and a elegant, beautiful, extravagant woman wearing the finest fineries. And they're kind of doing the typical noble family portrait where the man is prominent in the back, the wife is to the left, and the child is in the front. And Mary bows his head and points his hand to the right, having you go up the left staircase. And as you go up the left staircase, you see that there is a maroon carpet with gold trim laid across the stairs up into the second floor landing, where you see a large opening, a large open doorway or archway that leads to a grand entertaining room. And he leads you in there. If you would all please sit. There's plush leather chairs. There's a leather couch with fancy pillows. And a nice mahogany desk that's kind of sitting on one side. As well as like a game table, a globe, some bookshelves. It's very entertaining for like a party sense. A small piano, small grand piano in the corner. If you would just wait here, I will bring Lady Kaya in and Mr. Klahador. and we will be with you shortly. Please take advantage of the beverages inside the globe, and we will be with you shortly.
You know, after the last time we were in a mansion, I was really turned off to the idea of being indoors. But I could really get used to this. This place seems alright. We might stay here for a while, boys.
There was a piano. You mentioned there was a piano in here?
There's a mini grand piano, yes.
Ooh.
It's got like a nice 3 candelabra on the top.
Panala's just gonna walk right to it and try to play the piano.
Go over, throw over your tattered robes and your hunched back, and you crick your fingers a little bit, and begin playing. Roll me a performance check.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fucking. Oh shit!
You miss a couple of keys, but then you begin to pick up the rhythm, and you begin playing. It's a nice, soft melody, very classical in nature as you're hitting the keys to and from, switching hands, and just doing a nice, light melody.
Rookie in all parrot fashion will squawk with a tune. In your
typical pirate squawking fashion, trying to, you know what? You make me a performance check. I want to hear a bird sing. Your squawks aren't as squawky as you would think. You're able to match the tone and have a nice melody and harmony with the piano as it's playing through. It's actually, your squawks are more of bird singing, and it's very pleasant.
I am a parrot. I can mimic very beautiful sounds.
Yes, you can. So, you see that Mary comes in and says, I would like to present the Lady of Syrup Village, Lady Kaya. And he kind of does a deep bow with a couple flourishes of his hand. And you see Lady Kaya come in with her purple slippers and a simple light blue dress. Shoulder length blonde hair and gaunt features. And she comes in very strained upon her body. She's having a hard time staying proper as she's walking in. Hello, I am Lady Kaya. It is a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you so much for taking care of the nuisance to my village. I appreciate everything that you have done. And she kind of just wearily points to Clahador, or points her hand to Clahador. I would like to reward you for taking care of the nuisance to our village. And he wheels in like a food cart with a small little chest on top. And he wheels it in, and he undoes the lock and opens it up, and you see that there are, by your guesstimation, 500 gold pieces. Hopefully,
I am more than happy to accept this reward for all of our hard work. But I just gotta say, you look so good. What is wrong with you? You don't mind me asking. I'm not trying to, be rude here, but I think it's the elephant in the room, so I figure I'd get it out there while I can.
The doctors from the world government don't know what's going on with me. I have been ill for some time, and thankfully, Mary and Mr. Clahador have been keeping me as well and in good spirits as they can.
Can I insight check her to see if she really means that they're taking care of her? Because I know from
certainly.
Yeah, Erling also wants to get on this insight.
Anyone who wants to question the sick girl's sickness.
Sickness of hers is like
You and that
supernatural
cursed doll.
in appearance, or like maybe
Okay.
she just has the flu.
Scary 4X, you want to get in on the questioning of the young girl?
I want to do like more of an insight on the people around her.
Yeah,
Okay.
Iskari wants to know why anyone would let somebody in this condition
Oh,
be their
natural
leader.
20.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an insight check, Scary. Natural 20 for the other two people in the room, which is Mr. Mary and Mr. Clawhador. So
My insight is that's a 27 total.
27
Nice.
total shit balls. Okay. All right, let me just write that
Spill
down.
the beans.
Tell
All right,
me
so-
the darkest thoughts.
We'll start from who we got. So Rookie, Erling, and Penala are all questioning whether she is being honest. Rookie and Erling, or let's start with Penala. Penala, you noticed that there was a slight hesitation or slight emphasis on Mr. Clawhador. Erling and Rookie, you get the sense that she feels more fondly of Mary than she does of Mr. Clawhador. And that she doesn't seem like she's being mistreated, but she's not being treated as well by Mr. Clawhador than she is of Mary.
And for like the fact of her being sick, she said that the world government doesn't know what's wrong with her. Does that seem truthful? Like, does she maybe seem like she might know more than what she's saying type scenario?
She appears to be speaking the truth. She is not a medical professional, so she listens to her advisors on her well-being.
I wasn't sure if this is one of those scenarios where like playing sick but not really sick, like secretly being poisoned sick.
Anybody with training in medicine can check to see how sick she is. But for 4X, looking at Mary, he looks very concerned and empathetic of the way Lady Kaya presents herself and how she feels. You can sense that he deeply cares for her. Clawhador, on the other hand, is very professional and cold. He does what he's told, he does the chores that he is supposed to do, and he takes care of her. That's what you sense. That there is no love from Mr. Clawhador. He's just doing his job. And I believe I have... Let me bring up a shit stain here for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Did we get told what happened to this kid's parents?
Nobody knows. They believe it might have been a shipwreck or something when they were going to go see the world government. Or something of that such nature. But nobody knows exactly what happened to them.
They're just gone.
They're just gone. And they've been gone for 3 years.
Shortly after
How long
Clawhador
was the
started
kid?
working.
Was the kid sick before then?
You don't know.
Iskari's gonna ask, how long have you been sick?
I've been sick. She kind of looks to Mary and Clawhador. I've been sick for 3 years and a couple of months.
Were you sick before your parents left?
A short time before they left. If I remember correctly, they set out to see if they can find another healer or some doctor, some more help, because they couldn't trust what had been said.
What had been said that they felt like they couldn't trust?
That I was terminally ill and there was nothing the world government could do.
Oh.
So my parents left in search of some help from someone that wasn't a part of the world government. Any help.
Can I get a read on, was it Claw?
The claw?
Yeah, Clawhador?
The claw.
Nothing could stop the claw!
Claw
Claw's
guy.
our master.
When she's talking about her parents and her time being sick, just kind of see his facial expressions, if any.
Roll an insight.
18.
He's a goddamn butthole.
He looks as stern as he did not change his face pattern at all.
I didn't think he would, but I wanted to ask just in case.
And he speaks up.
She is going to go up and put her arm around the claw. Like, you know, a good old pal. Be like, well, good thing you've got these guys taking such great care of you, lady. We'll be taking that reward and we'll be getting out of your hair shortly.
He takes his offhand and just kind of brushes your hand off. Thank you for making this meeting fast. Lady Kaya is sick and she needs to be in bed. It's almost time for her dose of medicine. So, if you are all done here,
Well,
please see yourselves out.
We do have one more request, that we have a permission to privateer.
A permission to privateer what?
Well, there was the ghosts
I
that aren't actually ghosts,
yes.
they're goblins. Spoiler alert.
yes.
Offload
Led by
us.
a man that claims to be Captain
Kuro.
Kuro. And we dealt with the pirates at the mansion, but we believe that there's a way that we can signal the ship in and deal with them for good.
And we heard that we can't do it unless we get her permission.
Because for some reason you let sick people be your rulers.
Yes,
Sorry,
well,
I
that
sound
is
like
our
that.
culture. And as far as your
Yes,
privateer
it's our-
license, you don't have it. Thank you
Yeah,
for
we're
what you have done,
yeah.
but please leave.
I mean, if you don't give us this license, then the pirates will continue to wreak havoc upon the people of your village. Why would you do that?
It is not a matter of outsiders. The fact that you went into our mansion already without permission is
We were
egregious
asked to.
enough.
We were asked to by the shopkeeper.
It is
Because
not
goods
her
are being-
property to give out.
Her goods
Requests
are being
for.
stolen, and you're doing nothing about it.
Look, Mr. Claudor, it looks like you have huge say-so, but it seems like you're not taking care of the village, and if it takes people who aren't from here to do, what you should have done in the first place, then maybe, you're doing a horrible job. So give us the goddamn license.
My job is to protect Lady Kaya and make sure that she is well and safe. The rest of the villagers can just rot for all I care.
Whose job is it to take care of the villagers?
They take care of themselves.
Then what
Well-
good is Lady Kaya if she's not going to rule her people? Who needs her?
Also, these pirates eventually could, if they're not stopped, they could eventually attack the mansion and therefore Lady Kaya. I mean, it's simple logic, I think.
Are
Unless-
you
so-
threatening Lady Kaya, miss?
I'm not threatening
Simply pointing out the opportunity these pirates have to taint this medicine being delivered and ingested by the Lady Kaya.
Or prevent it from being delivered entirely.
You play a dangerous game by wagering with the Lady Kaya's life, the one who claims to be her protector.
We've managed just fine. I don't think we need your help anymore. Thank you.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to impede.
Well, it's a good thing that the Lady Kaya is calling the shots around here, huh?
She
Like the
looks
Lady
nervously
Kaya
from
versus-
to Mary without saying a word.
Because, you know, they didn't put you in charge of the town, did they, big guy?
Erling's gonna try and like telepathically communicate with the Lady Kaya, just kind of like locking eyes with her. In her mind, she's gonna hear his voice, and she can respond if she chooses. Lady Kaya, if there is any assistance you need from outsiders who might be capable and more than willing to do so on your behalf, I would recommend you speak now, or if it is a matter to be discussed in private, well, inside your own mind is about as private as it gets.
I don't have all the information, but if you get with Mary away from Klahador, he might have something else to say. And Lady Kaya bows her head. If you'll excuse me, I am extremely tired. I need to get some rest. And she wearily kind of holds herself against the wall, bracing herself, and excuses herself from the room.
Klahador, you're going to have your lady see herself to her bedroom.
He snaps his fingers twice, and two of these suited guards come and stand there. And he says, "Watch over them and make sure they don't steal anything. I must see to Lady Kaya." And he leaves the room in a flourish. In a frenzy, if even. And Mary
As
says,
soon as he's
"Hello. Sorry. He can be a bit grumpy at times."
Has he been this grumpy just as late, or is this like compared to yesterday or 2 days ago, is he more grumpy?
I would say he's especially perturbed this morning, but I have no idea. I don't think it's a full moon or anything. No. I mean, he has his days. Things seem to happen, and he doesn't like it. When things happen out of the normal, it seems to irritate him. You know, the unforeseen. His day-to-day, he likes to be regimented. And so when things happen that are not part of his schedule, then he gets angry.
And this has always been the case with Klahador, or have things escalated recently?
No, he seems to be this way all the time, but he was especially grumpy when he heard that some group of individuals, thank you by the way, had gone into a house upon the city without proper authorization and disturbed what was already there.
Yeah, what terrible people they must be to, you know, infiltrate a really bad group of people stealing from the villagers. I can only imagine how angered I would be if that happened in my town. Some people. Seems like a great guy, though. Lovely chap to work with, yeah?
You see that he just kind of... He winks with one eye that's opposite of the guards that were brought in. Yes, Mr. Klahador can have its rough edges, but he does care for Lady Kaya, and he does make sure things run smoothly around the house. I can't expect any more from him.
Assuming Erling catches the wink, and like clearly this guy's still afraid to say something, even with Clawhador out of the room, probably because the guards or something like that.
Yeah.
Erling's gonna try another mind link with this guy, with Mary.
Okay. Your mind is connected.
Pardon, Mr. Mary, but your Lady Kaya might have mentioned something that you may wish to discuss outside of the presence of Clawhador in the same room.
Yes.
If you or the lady are in need of help or assistance, well, now is your chance to speak your terms. You've heard ours.
I have heard that Mr. Clawhador has been sneaking out at night and making a connection with some fellow in town. And he has been mischievous in his care for Miss Kaya. And by that, I mean he has been more aggressive with her medicine treatments. It seems rather strange. He's been giving her medicine for as long as he's been here, but he's been, of late, doubling up on her doses. Seems rather odd.
Do you know what he's dosing her? What the medicine is, or what sort of effects this is having on the Lady Kaya?
I don't know, but it doesn't seem like her condition's getting any better. But her condition is not progressing as fast as the government said it would. But her condition is regressing, unfortunately.
Is Klaha the only one who has access to the Lady Kaya's medicine?
It is his area of expertise. He goes to the farms, the warehouse, and gets the appropriate herbs that are necessary for the medicine, and prepares it himself and administers it himself. I do trust him in that.
Why? Oh wait, this is telepathic. Never mind.
It's
I don't like winning questions. Wait, never mind. I don't. Never mind.
What reason do you have to trust this Clawhador so absolutely?
I don't trust him absolutely. He's an angry man, and he takes out his frustrations on me from time to time. Sometimes verbally, sometimes physically. But he does not harm Lady Kaya, and unfortunately, I cannot get her out while his goons are here. So I haven't been able to actively thwart whatever machinations he has. If he has any.
The goons weren't an issue. How long would you need to get the Lady Kaya from this place?
It wouldn't take long in her current condition, but I don't know if she will be able to survive without her medicine. And she cares too deeply for the village to leave. I could take her against her will, but she'll just come right back.
So Erling's just kind of at a loss at this point. So he's going to just start mind linking with other members of the party to try and like fill them in on this additional information.
By all means, have your conversations.
And then he will also kind of connect with 4X and ask you specifically if you have any sort of experience or knowledge, in addition to your cookery expertise, for seasonings, herbs, and recipes for their uses, kind of a thing. Like perhaps like a reverse engineering what this guy might be brewing up with these ingredients. Kind of a
I do
scenario.
have an affinity for nature, and I'm quite familiar with many of its plants and uses. I can't promise that I will be able to discover what he may be mixing, but I at least know the look and smell of many common medicines. By which I mean, mechanically, I have a +4 to medicine and a +7 to survival.
Significantly better than me is what I'm asking. Well, it seems our friend Mary here is requesting an opportunity of sorts to, well, secure the Lady Kaya's safety, but also wishes to ensure that the medicine that she's receiving is in her best interests before proceeding on any otherwise scheduled plans, any plan B or the like. And frankly, seeing how tight security is within this manor, I'm not so sure that I would even know where to begin. But perhaps if we could find the kid Monty, the Sniper King. You mentioned sneaking onto the property more than once, and perhaps we might be able to return and investigate this medicine a little more thoroughly.
He was supposed to get us a layout of exactly what the guard schedules were, so that's my mind link talk for you.
So unless anyone has any questions for Mary, that might be all we have in here for right now.
Yeah, I would just see if
Just do
there
it,
was
Clahador
a
says.
sample of it.
I think we're gonna have to come back and
Yeah,
sneak in to get the sample of it.
That's what I was saying. It's like that was my only question. You guys already did it, so okay.
So, at night, I can turn into all kinds of little animals in places.
Yeah, you could totally sneak in as like a bug or something.
Nothing with a fly speed, but squirrels, monkeys,
Kitty
things
cats.
that's kind of native to the island that can climb.
I could like fly overhead and like drop you on like a parachute.
Yes.
Just gonna go out on the limb and say that seems a bit extreme.
It would avoid all the guards.
It'd be so cool.
Hang on just a second.
And depending on if we're thinking only one or two people sneaking in or trying to get everybody in, I could conceal the physical appearance of two individuals, making them invisible for up to an hour's time.
One of us would knock out the guards and pretend to be him, so more incognito.
I'm not so good with the whole like stealth stuff too much, but I mean like invisibility, that's helpful. I could be invisible really good.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah,
Oh,
I could
come
like
back.
knock
We
people
were
out.
going to. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You go. I was just go.
Okay. Before we do anything, we're going to talk to the Sniper King, right?
Yes, I think so. That's the plan, anyways.
As long as you know where he's at.
We just have to find him, because he went missing today. So, back towards town!
Syrah,
think.
Syrah.
Oh, yeah. So Mary escorts you out and leads you on your way. Yeah, so he leads you on your way, and you have full reign from where you're at. Whatever you choose to do.
So, the plan is to what? We're gonna sneak back in there, steal medicine, sneak back out, test the medicine, sneak back in there, kill everyone, sneak back out.
I don't really have any way to
What's our-
test the medicine.
what's
other
our
than just
main goal
looking at
here?
it, trying to see what I think it is.
Well, I think we need to talk to the Snapper King before we make any plan. And then do what Rookie said. Sneak in, take the medicine, have 4X look at it, sneak back in, kill everyone, become heroes, and
Okay.
What was that middle bit?
sneak back in, become heroes, have songs sung about us. What?
Oh, sorry, I must be hearing things. I thought I heard. Never mind.
Jeez, it seems like you were the one who got hit in the head with an weird object, man.
I can assure you that the pain from that just pales in comparison to have an antler split out of your forehead.
Yeah. Still, who would do such a thing?
I don't know. You must be more wary of stray weaponry on
I
the
know.
battlefield.
It's probably that cursed doll you've been lugging around with you.
Cursed doll, cursed doll.
Well, Rookie, where do you think we should start this investigation for this kid? He wasn't on the ramp this morning. I don't think we know where he lives.
I mean, I know I was calling him my friend, but that's literally all I know about him. Is that he's my friend, and he was gonna do stuff for us. Now that he's missing, I don't even know. Like, I can do a quick swoop of the island from above and see if I can scope him out. Possibly he's just goofing off somewhere.
Are
Kids are kids, but I
Also,
don't.
we might even just be able to go by the inn if she knows anything about the kid, or if she keeps like receipts of what she sells to Clawhador, or anything like that.
are
That's
we?
a good idea.
Just go raid her
Are we
warehouse again.
Wait, this one has less than it did yesterday. This is what he's buying.
Are we still around the vicinity of the mansion?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how far you guys wanted to walk. You're outside the gates at this point.
What was the kid's name again?
Monty.
Sniper King? Monty.
Monty. Well, why don't we just call him, like, right now? We told him to keep watch over the mansion, so we just call him right now. If he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, we're just lunatics screaming into the wind.
Sure.
Okay, well, I'll do it. I got the best voice. I got this. All right, stretching
I
out.
don't have the best voice, but yeah, you go ahead and do it.
What did
Do you look
say?
like an old lady when you're doing this?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Monty!
As loud as Penala can, in that voice, she's going to scream, "Hey, Monty, get over here! Where you at?" Sorry.
Okay. How long do you wait?
I don't know, 3 minutes?
A couple of minutes.
You wait a couple of minutes. You don't see or hear anything. sign. It's a big island.
Fucking
Well-
children.
Well,
This is
he's
certainly
not.
going on to his first annual review.
He's fucking fired.
I mean, is he a part of the crew if he hasn't even been on the ship yet?
Not
This was his
anymore.
interview. He failed.
Not even.
He's not getting the job.
He was on probation, and now this is too much.
Double secret probation.
Well,
right, so
we
what's-
know he's not by the mansion. We know that.
Yeah, or maybe he doesn't want to show up outside the mansion.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take to the air and do a few laps around the island, do some sightseeing, catch a fish, find a lost kid.
Okay, that's going to take a long time to do all that. So what do you want to do first?
And find the lost kid.
Okay. So you go ahead and make me a perception check. For being up in the air. 20. Nice. You don't see the kid in particular, but what you do see is that to the south of the island, in this makeshift fort, you see what you would guess is a pirate flag. And it's a single house that is kind of on a hill all by its lonesome. And when you were flying about last time, you saw him run in that direction.
Yeah, that looks like a good place to start.
Okay. Are you going by yourself?
Yeah, because no one else can fly.
So you fly over and you see that there are log barricades posted up and like a palisade wall posted up on this little peninsula to block entry. And you see that there is a small like cabin, what you would assume would be like maybe a 2-room cabin. So like a living area and like a kitchen and about that much space. And maybe a small bedroom is fitted to the living room. And you see that there is a ballista, makeshift ballista, placed somewhere within this little makeshift fort. And you see that there is a small creature manning this ballista.
Creature like humanoid or creature like...
Depends on how high you're flying. How high are you flying?
I wouldn't be like super high up there, but... I
Looks
mean,
like a small
high enough
humanoid.
to- Okay. Yeah, I'll take my chances and take a dive in and see what I see getting closer. Try and land and...
As you're diving in, this little creature shoots off a bolt with a natural 1 and goes like 20 feet wide of you. Ah, shit, I missed. And starts cranking up the ballista again.
I appreciate the warning shot, kid. And I'll keep flying in towards it.
So he's still cranking it in. I'm gonna get you, you flying demon.
Does he look familiar? Or does he look like a different... Hey, buddy.
He looks like a different kid. Hello, Charles.
Oh my god, I heard
All kids just look the same to Rookie.
sometimes, yeah. Depends on how high I'm flying. No. Okay, I'm going to just kind of... I'm going to get it a little bit closer, and then I'm going to just kind of say loud enough for them to hear me, but not super close and not like screaming. Hey buddy, looking for my pal here. Thought he might be over here. His name is
You're
No.
terrible with names.
Sniper King.
Monty?
Merlin? Monty. Gosh dang it, I was close.
What do you want with the captain?
Why don't you tell me where he is, and me and the captain will worry about that, kid, huh?
He turns and aims the ballista at you. What do you want with the captain?
He learned our lesson so well.
With the battle cry, the kid shoots the ballista again.
Sorry, Charles was trying to climb up on my desk, and then he slipped and hit his chin, and it was like, well, this is what happens, child.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, he's okay.
That's the worst.
Just dramatic.
It sure doesn't sound like it.
He's dying, don't mind him.
Alright, so what are you guys doing while she's flying around?
Going back to the inn or to the place to get the list of ingredients.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
You guys
going
are
with him.
making. You guys.
Yep.
So, rest of the party's heading to the Mesh Cafe and warehouse. Amanda, let me know when you're back and stable. So you all head in, and Ben says, "Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back. That was quicker than I thought you would be. Hope everything went well."
Or didn't want to talk.
Is in a more nasty mood than he.
Hmm.
He was
Well.
in a nastier mood than when we met him.
Must be one of his off days. Something must have went differently than normal. Okay. Well, what can I do for you? You've already eaten, so I don't think you need to eat again. What you need?
We were hoping you might be able to provide us with some information.
I've given you lots of information. What more information do you need?
And I
What do you know of
assure you
Clahador?
you've been useful.
Hold on, 3 people talked. Who asked about Clahador?
I did.
Okay. What kind of
Oryx, the
information?
silent one.
What kind of information would you like about Clahador?
How long has he been on the island?
About 3 years or so, plus or minus a couple months.
And how did he become part of Lady Kaya's household?
He came. He came looking for work as a butler, and he had experience with being a pharmacist, I suppose, and the lady and Mister of the island at the time were looking for another butler and someone who could provide aid for their daughter. And so they hired him.
This was before or after the parents disappeared.
But they hired him before they disappeared.
And she was sick before he arrived.
Yeah, she had come down with a flu, I believe, or a bad fever, and so they were looking for aid. And apparently the world government sent doctors down to see to her and said that she was beyond their treatments, and so Clahador said that he could provide her comfort at the very least.
Has Claudor picked the medicine already for? Has he been here this morning yet? We just saw him, so we're just wondering.
No, he hasn't been here yet this morning. Not since you guys left roughly an hour ago. He has not been here.
And he comes here to pick up the medicine from you, right?
Yeah. I think he has some stores of bulk items at the mansion, but he has to get some fresh ingredients daily here at the warehouse.
Do you mind if we see the ingredients?
I don't think that he would like that very much.
We'll buy.
Make a persuasion check.
He.
Can I attempt to aid?
Okay. She got a 26. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say with
My
aid
plus
from
0.
Forex.
Probably won't help.
I really shouldn't, but what, do you think you can make a better medicine than he can?
Sure. Yeah,
I
we can
have
totally do that.
much knowledge of the natural world, and have had to make many medicines for myself in my times in the wild.
Anything to help Lady Kaya get better faster. And she will give you a list of ingredients that she frequently gives Clahador, as well as the list of ingredients of bulk ingredients that he occasionally picks up.
And just keep it between you and I.
Of course. I don't want to get in trouble either. And she slips you the piece of paper.
How would any of us get in trouble for just trying to understand what Lady Kaya is using?
Well, in the mood that he's in, who knows what might take him off.
He is very particular about his work. Is there anything else I can do for you this evening? Afternoon?
Yes, do you have the supplies that we ordered yesterday, 2 days ago?
Did you order supplies?
Yes, because we
Yes?
forged papers to get. The
Oh, that's right. You guys did order supplies.
It's the whole reason we're in this freaking town.
I forgot. So many things have happened since you've stolen shit from her.
Sorry.
She doesn't know that part.
No, she doesn't.
We borrowed them without the intention of bringing them back.
Yes, I do have your supplies. Unfortunately, I do not have a cart in which to distribute them to your vessel, I presume. But they are ready in the warehouse. Everything that Mr. Erling had requested.
Yep.
So, Ryan, she does have everything available for you.
Awesome.
I don't
But there's
recall
no
if
cart.
you paid up front or not. Unfortunately, the cart is at the bottom of the ocean, but she doesn't know that.
Well, we're not paying for that. No,
We're not paying
we
for
won't
that.
want
But you will have to carry cargo. She does not provide delivery.
Gosh.
Is what it is.
We should have got Prime. We should have got that subscription. We should have got Prime.
She have like large bags and some rope.
Yeah, everything that could be either boxed or bagged is bagged.
How much weight are we talking about here?
Ryan, what all did you order?
I think I asked for like a long sword. I won't need medium armor anymore. And then
Oh,
I
that's
think
right.
it was, like,
You
more
wanted
general
food,
stuff, like
rope,
cannonballs
potions,
and-
weapons, armor, and guns.
Yes.
Correct.
So we're talking about some fairly heavy stuff.
Correct. But I think the only thing that you wanted to purchase for sure were food, ropes, and potions. And you were questionable about her wares of weapons, armors, and guns.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I can turn into like an ox and carry stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think with your collective strengths, you could carry... It's not like you're carrying cannonballs or anything. So it's just going to be
Ballistic
like a
cannonballs.
week's worth of food. And you bought rope so you can drag things or lash them.
Yeah, a week's worth of food is a lot of food, man.
It is, but if everyone carries, a crate, then they can do it. And
Look, man,
potions.
I'm a druid. I have a few very specific skills.
You can take it all if you want, Ben. And potions, she has potions available of the standard healing variety if you choose to purchase them.
Yes.
Did you pay money yet, Ryan, or not?
I don't think so, because
Okay.
she wasn't sure she could find our swords or weapons or anything.
So for the ration food supplies, let's just call it 15 gold for the week. Depending on how much rope you wanted, that's not going to be much. Call it 5 gold for enough rope to lash up whatever you want. And then she has available to her 10 standard healing potions.
That'd be
Yeah.
500 gold.
That would be 500 gold.
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. So she brings those out, and so she takes her 515 gold, or 20 gold. And was there anything else that you wanted? We have some finely crafted wares from the world government that came in and weren't
Do you have
stolen
any-
by the quote-unquote ghosts.
Such as.
Well, we have a number of masterwork weapons and armors that provide enhanced protection and or keener edges for deeper cuts. Or, if you're of the brutal variety, have stronger faces for bludgeoning. As well as a few strange items that are, well, not necessarily fanciful, but they have, special properties that entice people of fancy. We have armor that never gets dirty. We have boots that leave a different footprint every time you step. Let's see here. We have armor that has been expertly crafted to be removed quickly.
That's interesting.
Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, this is good. We have an amulet that is made by a particular group of gnomish inventors that allows fortunes to favor you once a day. No, don't know too much about that. We also have standard clothes that never fray or get cut. Let's see here. As well as some armor pieces that make you look more fierce. Let's see here. As well as a number of other uncommon items that might be of note.
How much are the clothes that never fray?
The clothes that never fray. The clothes that never fray, depending on what garment you're looking at. If you're looking at, say, a common set of clothes, those will run you 75 gold. If you're looking for something exotic, those will run you 250 gold.
What about something like an extravagant cloak in this never fraying cloth?
An extravagant cloak would be definitely easier to make. I would say that'll be 55 gold pieces to have a cloak that never frays.
I only have 12.
We also have some other things that are used by, I guess, spellcasters. She puts up in air quotes again. This lovely hat. And it's a hat that is a cone-shaped wizard's hat that has gold crescent moons and stars on it. And it
I
looks...
can almost guarantee I had that same hat for a Halloween costume.
I would
So
assume
like
so.
the Mickey Mouse hat?
The Mickey Mouse, yes. The wizard's hat.
What does it do?
She says, well, this particular hat, you can use it as a spellcaster to focus your spells through. Instead of using a wand or an amulet or a crystal ball or some such like that. As well as the ability to attempt to cast a cantrip on the wizard spell list that you don't know.
So, wait.
With a successful Arcana check.
So, I can, if I don't know the spell, and if it's not on my list, if I put on the hat, I need to make an Arcana check to cast it?
Yep,
So, I'm sorry.
once per day.
If I wanted to say do Eldritch Blast, which I don't have it on my thing as a bard, I could just go, oh, I have the hat.
It has to be a wizard
on the
spell.
wizard spell list.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
Firebolt or Prestidigitation or Frostbolt or Toll the Dead, I think, might be on the list. Like those kind of cantrips.
Chilling touch.
Chilling Touch. Infestation.
Oh, that's really cool. How much is it?
This particular hat would be quite expensive, as it is the only one I have in my shop. 125 gold pieces.
I want that.
You can just kill her right now and take it.
I'm thinking about that. That's not entirely out of the quick question.
Just fucking stab her, take it, and run!
Uh-huh, yes, what's your
Iskari,
question?
Have you need of finer weaponry?
Not that I'm willing to pay for.
I didn't hear. That's not my voice. I don't think I need anything right now. They did have some really cool things, but hey kid, if you want, or old lady man, if you wanted anything, what do you look like
Wait,
right now?
isn't Rookie flying around right now?
Yeah.
I'm not there. Never mind. Sorry. Feeling white.
I could.
So while everyone else is looking at like the inventory, there's a list of ingredients that we got, right?
Yes. Go ahead and
we
make
don't
me a
need that.
medicine check. I don't actually have it written out, so give me a medicine check.
Okay, medicine check.
Can I assist
Go
him
to
if
Gross.
that's possible?
Sweet. That
Uh,
would be a
yeah.
23.
Go ahead and roll me a medicine check as well. Penala.
$10.
You try to ascertain what you might be able to combine these things to, but it's beyond you. Forex, on the other hand, looking over this list, you notice that there are a couple of ingredients or a handful of ingredients that make sense as general tonics or feel-good herbs. But you do notice that there is like a couple of like discrete items that if you were to mix them together would cause a reaction that you think might induce like a poison into the system. They would it'd be a caustic reaction if these were mixed together. It's like adding lye or a drop of mercury to a drink. Over time, you'd get mercury poisoning.
A little touch of hemlock, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep that to myself for now.
But you would think that this would be all in all concocted and brewed and served in a beverage of some sort. That would be the best way to administer this tonic.
Right.
So, is there anything else I can do for you?
Do you have any guns for sale?
I do have some guns. What in particular are you looking for? We have
gun.
long guns, we have pistols. We have
pistol.
a pistol. Okay. Are you looking for something of the flintlock variety or a wheel gun or something a little bit more robust?
Which one's easier?
So a flintlock is a basic pistol where you have to load powder, paper, and then a ball, tamp it down, pour powder in the pan, and then you can use it. So it takes a full round to reload this gun. Similar to a heavy crossbow where it takes a full turn to reload it. There is a wheel lock gun, which halves the time to a bonus action to reload it. But it's a mechanism and it's more expensive. And then there are more robust guns that have multiple chambers that you can load up and you can fire off a number of rounds before needing to reload. But those are far more expensive.
Then okay, so the flintlock wood is the least expensive. The wheel one is more expensive, and the
There's-
robust
yeah.
is the most.
Correct. And there's different, like, the more robust pistols have different variety within them. Some of them have 4 barrels, some of them have 1 barrel, but a revolving chamber. Some of them have different mechanisms for shooting.
I guess I'll take the lit flint lockwood one.
That would be 150 gold, please. I'm sorry, did you just have a heart attack? Do I need to call a physician?
Yes.
All right.
Please,
Well,
Forex,
as
see to
that
her.
Amulet of Fortune's favor.
Oh, an
How
amulet.
much was that one?
I
Bryce walks,
did not say.
Bryce walks over and starts checking her pulse.
I'm fine. Just, I don't know
Um,
why people ask for gold.
So she presents it to you, and it's a very lovely amulet. It looks like an open-faced pocket watch, almost. You hear a faint ticking and whirring from the inside as you hold it up to your ear. This fine craftsmanship would be 65 gold pieces.
It's only 65 gold pieces, but yet that gun that you can only shoot once and then takes like a minute to reload is 150.
Right then, so we're going to be taking the pocket watch, the never fraying cloak, and was there any interest in the hat or the pistol, Penala?
I like that.
And the hat as well, then.
And the hat. Did I give you a price for the hat?
125 for the hat.
Are you gonna haggle any, or are you just gonna go straight up?
Ooh, I want to haggle. I'm great at haggling. I know the value of gold.
I'll assist Penala in that sense. She's going for the haggle.
Okay. How are you haggling? And I'll tell you if you get advantage or not.
Look, Ben. We assisted you, and we're heroes that go from island to island helping islanders, and with these items in hand, we'll be able to help more people than we could without them, and possibly help the Lady Kaya. So, with these items, we're a bit tight, because, we're heroes. We don't accept gold. And I just think a lot of these are a bit overpriced, and we'll play... How much are we paying?
265 gold at full value.
765, including the 10 potions
Yeah.
and food supply and rope and all that. So.
Yeah.
We'll pay, 525 gold pieces. That seems fair.
Okay, make a persuasion check with advantage.
Yay! I feel like this is the best.
I can give it to you for 625. Because of what you have done for the village.
At least somebody around here is grateful.
I'm very grateful. Hopefully no more of my wares walk out.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. Whoever did that should be ashamed of themselves.
Make a deception check.
Oh, damn it! Why do my actions have consequences?
Yeah.
21.
Are you still reeling from the price? Are you okay?
I don't
She's
think
clearly
my
feeling
heart...
faint. Her pulse is irregular.
I think...
She pulls out like a paper fan and starts fanning you.
I think I might die because of that price, to be honest. This old lady can't afford that.
I'm sorry, but 625 is all I can do. I have to import these items.
Damn.
Well, Penala, luckily this old lady comes with the pockets of our ship as well for this endeavor. As one of the crew, it is best that we see you all kept up to fighting fit with whatever supplies you find need of. And Erling's gonna hand over a sack with the 625. Like,
625
gold.
gold.
Discount.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you so much for saving our wonderful village and bringing your business here. So, you have an amulet. And I will just post it here in chat because it is awesome. And I'll make items for these later. It is a clockwork amulet that when making an attack roll, you can forgo d20 and get a 10 on the die.
You see, I could make
Oh,
use of
that's
that
pretty
next
sweet.
time instead of, critting another member of my party.
Yeah, you can miss on purpose.
Oh, God.
And so what else did you get? You got the
Mickey Mouse hat.
Mickey
wizard
Mouse hat.
I'm pretty sure Nari basically has that same item, just a stone and not a hat.
Yeah, about that. Okay, so, and the hat. And a gun, right?
I
I think not the gun.
yeah.
Oh, you didn't get the gun?
No.
Oh.
Did that increase?
Actually, yes, we did. In that 600,
Yeah.
yes, we did.
Okay. Never mind then.
We could pay the additional 150 if Penala wants a gun.
I mean, I don't think we should. No.
Well, it's 765 was including the gun. So you guys got the whole thing down to 625, including the gun.
In that case, yes, we bought.
Yeah, we got the
So you
gun.
bought the gun.
All right, cool beans.
All right. And a footlock. Okay. So your lovely Mickey Mouse hat. Ignore the attunement requirement, but it does require attunement. Is a hat of wizardry. It's an antique cone-shaped hat adorned with gold crescent moons and stars. And while you're wearing it, excuse me, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for the cantrips that you cast through the hat. And you can choose a cantrip off the wizard spell list, cast it using a DC 10 Arcana check, and you get to use that once per long rest.
Once per what? Oh, long rest.
Once per long rest. And the gun is a ranged weapon that does 2d6 damage plus your dexterity per hit. Limit to once per round if you have multiple attacks.
How much is it, D6?
2d6 plus dex.
Okay, and I have the gun, right?
Yeah.
As long as he gives it to you.
That's what you wanted, right? Was your gun?
Mm-hmm.
And I pull out my gun.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, shooting, babe.
Anything else? Oh, and you bought the cloak.
The never fraying
cloak
stuff.
Yeah, so that's basically just a cloak of mending. Whenever it does get a fray, it heals itself.
Now you look beautiful always.
Now you look beautiful always.
Like Gorneo.
I'm gonna say, what would go be fitting with you? I'm gonna say it's a crimson red color with a dark purple trim and a dark purple embossed fleur-de-lis in the center of it. A gun! Oh shit.
That's awesome.
Oh god.
What have you done?
Don't worry. You're gonna have to buy ammo.
No, I should
Ammo
think
ain't
that the
cheap.
shopkeeper takes everything.
She shot
This is
her
like
only
when-
shot.
This is like Scanlan trying to get one of Percy's guns, except like a lot sooner.
Well, you have to maintain ammo, and there's no recovering black powder.
Oh, shoot. I just wanted to see. Did I set that up right?
Looks right to me.
Hey.
Now the question is, are you proficient in firearms?
That would probably be up to you.
If you have
I mean-
proficiency in a ranged weapon, a ranged martial
I have
weapon,
a hand crossbow.
I'll say that works. That's the same principle. All right. Oh, back to our bird friend. Back to the bird.
I'm
Back to
just,
the bird.
taking down
Rookie.
rookies.
You got this kid, little kid, with like an onion-shaped head. He's got green hair that comes, it's all smoothed up into like a little top knot kind of thing, and it just sticks up like a top ponytail. And he's a little portly. Kind of looks like Cartman with green hair.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Respect my authority.
I'll shoot you again.
And he aims the ballista at you. What do you want with the captain?
I think that's between the captain and I to discuss, don't you think, kid?
I'm
I'm
here to
gonna land
protect the
like-
captain.
On the ballista, staring at him. Very intimidating.
You see he reaches down to his waist and pulls out a dagger. And it's made of wood.
Oh, that's
Don't
cute.
you worry,
And he
kid.
aims it at you.
We're real tight. We're basically best friends since we first made eye contact yesterday.
Make a
Oh, yeah,
persuasion
for
check.
Tell him I'm here. Was it 16?
You see his hand kind of come down a little bit. All right. But I'll be watching you. And he puts
Watch away.
the dagger back down
Every
and
breath you take.
I'm really surprised with my persuasion checks because my charisma is shit. So this is
he
fucking
says, the captain's inside, recovering. Don't do anything
Recovering?
foolish or I'll have to end you.
great. Don't worry, foolish is my middle name. Step aside. I'm gonna kind of like just push past him, like at least twice his size, I'm sure. So
So you go to this door of this little log cabin. It kind of looks like an old Western schoolhouse. You know, it's kind of got like that one room. It's a steepled house with like a chimney. Little house on the prairie looking thing. And you kind of open the door and you see Monty laying on his bed with a wash rag, like a cool rag on his forehead. And you see that there are a bunch of abrasions and bruises all over his body.
I thought Lady Kaya looked like shit, but you look even worse than she did.
You saw Lady Kaya?
Well, we told you we were gonna go see her, didn't we? That's why we asked you to get a good look at what happened to you.
They found me this time. Claudor didn't like me trying to talk to Lady Kaya, and so he had his men beat me up and throw me out. I had to crawl my way back here.
Because you made us believe, huh?
Well, sometimes we let out a squawk when we're scared.
I wouldn't know what being scared feels like.
I'm pretty sure I heard you from inside the mansion.
Yeah, I must have been a ghost. I don't squawk like that. No, it couldn't have been me. Doesn't sound right.
You see a face pop up to the window.
Curse doll!
We are the doll. The doll is one. We will all be the doll.
Oh God, not that again.
What are you counting to, Penella?
That's how many times we brought up the doll.
Oh.
Sorry.
So is she doing all right?
Well, she's not doing like great. I wouldn't say she's ready to run a marathon or anything. She's definitely still dying, so that's a good sign.
I think my laughter is the only thing that's been able to make her feel better. Fortunately, I wasn't able to help her today.
So you said that you wanted to get off this island and take her with you. What's your plan there, kid? You really think she can survive without the medication she's on?
Well, I know repression can do terrible things to the body. She's oppressed where she lives. I have to free her. At least she can see the ocean if she is gonna die. Adventure.
You think she would leave her town in the hands of the claw guy?
The
Clyde.
Clyde.
The claw. I
The
know, all I imagine
Claw.
now. I can't even remember his name. I just see the claw in Toy Story. Oh,
The
sorry.
Claw's our master.
Yeah, that's the master. He's children. Yeah, so
I'd like to think that she would. She always told me that she would love to go out and see the world and go on adventures like the stories I tell her.
well, Mary said that he didn't think she would leave, and even if we were to get her out of the mansion, she'd probably just stick around. So I mean, really, what's the point of us even trying? You know?
'Cause I can't give up on her. She deserves better.
Yeah, but what can you give her? Oh wait, I'm not there.
Now you know how it feels. So what I'm really trying to ask is, you know what? Oh, my dog's puking right now. God dang it. I'll clean it in a second. That's disgusting. Okay. What is it that you can help us with if you weren't able to get, the guard watch like we asked you to?
Oh, I got the guard watch. It's just they caught me when I was trying to tell Lady Kaya's story.
Oh, well, good. Well, let me go get my friends. One of them's a healer. Maybe he can patch you up a little bit and get you back on your feet. You can give us the down low, and maybe we'll decide if we want to help your friend after all or not. There's something sketchy about the claw that's rubbing me the wrong way, so we might just do it out of the goodness of our hearts. Or we might just take you for every penny you have. We're not sure yet.
He looks around like wearily. I don't have very many pennies left.
It doesn't matter. Sometimes, the littlest pennies are the shiniest, so. Like I said, we'll just see. Sometimes we do things out of the goodness of our heart because we're good people, but, this one seems a little iffy to me.
Okay, well, I'll try to rest
But
up.
I am gonna go back and get my friends just because you look like shit. And I have a healer with me. He might be able to patch you up half decently because, look at you. You don't look good. So we'll get you back on your feet. You'll give us a down low, and we'll decide where to go from there.
All right, I'll be here waiting, and I'll let Onion know to let your friends in.
Yes. And Rookie's gonna go get everyone. Oh man, that cleans up dog puke. That's gross.
Okay. So Rookie shows up and says, "Rah! The kid's hurt." Rah! And she lets the party know that the kid is to the south in a makeshift fort. And he has the information that he was set out to get.
I guess I can head that general direction, try to heal him or something.
Okay. The rest of you going?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. So the party heads down, and you kind of walk through this nice rolling field meadow that leads a gentle slope up, and then it turns into this red dirt. And then you see kind of on the horizon a makeshift palisade and barricade with a small flag kind of flying above the gate. And you see, as you get closer, a small ballista is set up, and a child with green hair, squat and portly, says, who goes there?"
Yep,
Is anybody else with
mama.
me, or is it just me?
Everyone, I believe, is going.
That was the plan. I believe so.
Yeah, we're all with 4X.
Okay. Everyone's before.
Well, then Rex is gonna do his normal thing and be quiet.
Aww. Friends of the captain. Captain Sniper. Sniper King.
Are you with the bird lady?
Yes,
Po-
the
points
giant
at
chicken,
rookies.
yes.
Oh, there she is.
What? These are my friends.
All right. All right. Just be easy on him. He's hurt.
Nah, we're just gonna beat him till he's dead. Come on, kid. What do you think we are, monsters?
Yes. You're a bird, he's a turtle, and she's a creepy old lady. And that one has horns.
Horn.
You're very
Horn.
perceptive.
Wow. That was rude.
Well, you are a creepy old lady. You got a crooked
Well,
nose.
You're creepy kid.
Good. I'm a pirate.
Creepy pirate.
Viscari just laughs at the notion of this kid being a pirate.
And you can make your way into the house. You make your way in, and the boy tries to sit up. Sorry, I didn't get away fast enough. But I got your information.
C4X, the kid I was telling you about, really beat to a pulp. Obviously can't hold his own too well on a multiple enemy battle, but it's fine. I told him you might be able to patch him up a little bit. He'd give us information, and then we may or may not help his girlfriend out. That's the plan.
That's
How beat up does he actually look?
he might have like a fractured rib and just some superficial. He's got like a busted lip.
Gee.
Nothing life threatening, but he's beat to hell.
Just black and blue.
Okay,
Black and blue.
If he had a busted rib, then I'll cast a. Let's see, I guess a. Cure wound seems like a bit much, but I don't have healing word.
You could probably set it with like a medicine check and just be fine with that.
Alright, let's try a medicine check then. If that doesn't go well, then I'll just heal him. 15.
Okay, good. If you would have got a 1, you would have punctured his lung. Yeah, you do what you can, wrap him up, get compression, a little bit of compression on it, so it's not expanding too much. And yeah, you feel like he'll be on the mend in a day or so. So I believe you all want the guard times and schedule.
Well, we're not here for your company.
Obviously. Such a jerk.
Jeez, rookie's on a.
I thought the old lady was
on a
mean.
rampage.
So, the guards changed their shift right at sundown. And at noon and at sunrise. They run 3 shifts. There are...
How many are there on each shift?
At night, they have 2 at the front gate and 2 patrolling the outside fence inside the courtyard. During the day, they have anywhere from 5 to 6, and first thing in the morning, they have 2 at the gate again and 2 in the courtyard. So overnight, they run 4, and during the main part of the day, they have 6.
So nighttime, there's 2 in the front, 2 in the back. The daytime, you said there's 5 in the front and like 6 in the back?
Between 5 and 6.
Oh, okay.
And they are on constant foot patrol around the premises. Clahador is there all day. He gives Lady Kaya her medicine at around 11 o'clock, and Mary changes the sheets and empties the chamber pot and brings her food during the day.
What time is it that you're usually able to sneak in there and talk to her?
I usually get in there around 10-ish before Clahador shows up. It seems like that's when I'm able to get through to her the best. She's most receptive at that point with my stories. She laughs the most early in the morning.
Wait, does Claudor leave the mansion at any point?
Just to go into town to get the supplies they need, and then he's back. He spends all of his time in the mansion, as far as I know.
And with his secret rendezvous with the unknown.
Yeah, I can't stay there and watch all the time.
Oh, you don't know that part. Don't worry, kid.
No. Try to see. They do have a transponder. What do we use? A sail phone. That's what we called it. They do have a sail phone. A snail phone. But in the last campaign, we called it a sail phone. SAIL phone.
Could even be a shell phone.
A shell phone. Yeah, a shell phone. I like shell phone. They do have a shell phone that they have access to for communicating off island. So he doesn't necessarily need to get out that often if he has to communicate with people.
So now to decide if we actually decide we want to do anything about it, or just call it a day and be on our way.
Well, if we were to do something about it, might not be able to swing back around to deal with pirates, Captain Kuro's ship. As I think we will no longer be welcome here on the island.
Because Clahador told you to mind your business.
How'd you guess?
He tells everyone to mind their business. He's a stickler for order. And if anybody sticks their nose in something that is not their business, is out of order. I suppose that's why he doesn't like me very much.
I would wager that he's probably in bed with the pirates that have been robbing this place, and he's making sure that they can continue to be lucrative.
And you know, it doesn't help that you sling stones at everyone who comes up on your shores.
You're a bit of an annoying little
Yeah, but I have to prove a point that someone has to protect this island, because Clahador won't.
Who is
Funny that the people you threw stones at are now the ones helping you, though, huh? Didn't think that one through, did you, kid?
I got your attention, didn't I?
I mean, technically, I think you threw stones at them and not.
No, you weren't there.
Well, you got my attention anyways, just because I wanted to talk to you, so there's that. But life gets lonely on the sea. When you finally see a new face to talk to, you just jump at the opportunity, okay? You don't
Just
have
gotta
questions.
squawk. Let it all out.
These are the things we can do with
Squawk, Squawk.
Squawk, squawk.
I'm a squawking to you, so squawk on.
Oh, I love this campaign. All right, so what's next?
Are we planning? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I still want to sneak
Yeah, that
into the
literally
house as sort of animal and try to discover what else he's putting in that potion or what I
Yeah, I
found
think
is
it's
poison
smart
enough.
to know at least the potion or the medicine. And now that we have an idea, it's probably smarter for you to sneak in at nighttime, and we know how many guys there are during the watch, so it might be easier. But it'll still be up to you as a rat or a squirrel or a ferret, whatever you choose to be. Sneak in there at nighttime.
And Forex would be doing this alone. We won't.
I think
Right.
someone said they could turn someone invisible, but I don't know how easy it would be for an invisible person to get in and out either. I mean, it might be easy for him to find a little hole, like a rat hole, whereas a person would have to actually have to go through the doors or windows. But either way. I feel like that's a good place to start just to find out if this is something we really do want to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
And what time of day is it right now?
I would say it's a little afternoon.
So we can probably hang out with this kid, take a decent rest, and then nightfall comes and we can send Forex on his way.
Yep.
Yeah, seems like a plan.
Did we want to send an
Squawk.
person
Good
with
plan.
Did
I
we
mean, we
want
could even send in the. I mean, I could even go invisible, and if something were to happen, I could fly back, get the group, or have the group, kind of close by, and if I'm invisible.
Yeah, I was thinking we
fly.
could like at least make our way to the same side of the island.
Yeah, that way, in case
Outside of
something
the
does go
property
wrong,
line.
we can jump
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, within running distance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's do that then. Dun dun dun. Head to that
Dun,
side of
dun,
the island. Send Forexes.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys can rest up in safety. You rest up in safety, and night begins to fall over the island. And you begin your adventure, your espionage mission into the mansion. And we're going to take a brief 5-minute break.
Do the
Right.
Naruto run.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll be right back. And everyone take a bio break, get a drink, and we'll get into the espionage.
Are people still planning on planning to raid Area 51 with the Naruto run?
I don't know. It's been a while since I heard updates on that.
Because I heard a lot about it, then I heard about Popeyes for some reason.
Yeah, them like running out of chicken sandwiches or something.
Are the chicken sandwiches even good?
I don't know.
David literally had his friend go to Popeyes today to try and order a chicken sandwich, and they didn't have them. So there's that. That's all I know.
Ugh. I just remember everyone talking about Popeyes, and I'm like, hell. With the sandwiches and everything.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, behave.
Sorry, I thought I was on mute.
So how's life been, Nick?
Life's been fucking great.
Nice.
I really have nada to complain about.
Awesome.
Other than D&D getting canceled last night. That I can complain about.
Not enough players?
Yeah, I had a couple people bail, so...
Bummer.
Is what it is.
See, that's when you have, like, game night between 3 people. Should have busted out a board game or something.
Yeah, should have had Ryan come over anyway. But we didn't do that.
Man, every week I'm like, man, I wish I would have been there Saturday. Wish I would have been there Saturday.
It's okay. We just get to hear about it on Sunday. We
Yeah.
there. Dream of a day when we can play in person. It's cool.
I mean, Lucas got to play in person.
Just rub it in deeper. It's cool. It's fine.
There's something special about sitting around a table shooting the shit,
It's just
playing some Dungeons and Dragons.
a whole new world. It's like, oh, it's not fair.
I don't know if I could run for people in person though.
See, that's my thing. Is like I can do voices and stuff when I'm behind a screen, but it's like if I'm in front of people, I'm like I don't know if I could do that. But then the other side of it is like you can be like discussing things with people the whole time of oh this is what I'm gonna do. Oh that's great. You should do this too, and it's like plotting the entire time. So it's like ah. Because online, only one person can talk at a time. So sometimes it's like, wait, I want to butt in, but I don't want to interrupt you because I want to hear what you're saying. But I
Well,
have
yeah.
things to say too.
And you can like discuss things on the side so you're not distracting the dungeon master. So like the dungeon master is doing something with somebody else and you can be talking about shit on the side, which is really cool.
And you can mime stuff too.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is I talk a lot with my hands, and so I'm over here like describing things to you, and I'm like, oh, they can't see it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, here, I have this huge image in my head and I'm using my hands. Oh, yes.
I'm over here doing the YMCA trying to describe
Yep.
things.
Like, it would make sense if you would just look. Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Oh, that's right. We're only doing voices.
Am I being annoying with my voices? I don't.
No,
No,
I
yet.
love the voice.
not yet.
Always.
Well, that seems like a challenge.
I mean, I love the fact that I get to bring my goblin voice every once in a while.
We're gonna have to find Boblin on every island.
I just really like the idea of a goblin with split personality disorder and playing them like Smeagol and Gollum. What's potatoes, precious? 50 hobbits.
Keep nasty chips.
That would be a lot of fun.
I like them fresh and wriggly.
Raw and wriggly.
I'd get the voices fucked up so fast though. I can't even keep. Mm-mm. Like I'm terrible with that.
You're just Amanda all the time.
Basically, Nari has a slight Russian accent, which I can keep up, but then I can't drop. So it's like I either have it or I don't. And in my head, Rookie has an accent, but I feel like her accent is more of a personality than an accent.
I
So
can
it's
see
like-
Rookie with like a Boston accent. Hey, name's Rookie. How you doing?
See, I couldn't
Are
do
you
that.
fucking
But I could
talking?
see
Are
it.
you
I'll
fucking
dick
talking
you
to
in
me?
the face. That's what I'm going to do. Oh.
Wait, what was was that
I'll
supposed to
dick you
be?
in the face.
Dude,
I-
keep no
Keyword.
tongues.
Dude, that was really good.
It was supposed to be Boston, and I think I picked up Cockney.
I heard Cockney in that one.
Yeah.
How do you
All right,
like
so we all
them
back?
apples?
We are back.
Depends on who's at now.
Ben might not be back.
Coffee.
Ben was
Join my
just
party.
talking.
Saw his
She
little...
couldn't tell. It was my Boston accent.
Oh, okay. See? I
It was
just-
South Boston.
Sorry, guys. Okay.
But I'm from Southie.
Southie.
I have to work on a Boston accent and see if I can pull it off. I won't try it now.
It's just the name. Rookie, it just sounds like Boston to me. I don't know.
Like wicked smart.
Wicked Smart.
It's smart, man.
Hey, mobster.
Okay, so
My boy's wicked smack.
Wicked Smart. Going to Hoboken. All right,
Got the
so
socks doing.
the Sox do it. So we've
like
what
they're
what
pretty
is the
good.
plan for the infiltration of the mansion?
Throw the rat in the hole.
So
Well, I
it's-
can't do anything that flies at this point. So, and squirrel is not actually in the game. Like, it's not in the B-shaped list.
No, it's not an option.
But
I'm
I
sad
would
to
assume
say.
the squirrel is in fact. I mean, if I can turn into a rat, should I can turn into a squirrel? So, whichever of these small furry animals seems to most likely to be able to, I don't know, like
Prominent on the
there were
island.
trees around the house, and I assume there's like a window open somewhere. So that's really what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you can do that.
Or I could be invisible and throw you down the chimney.
That's not really the plan I'm going for there.
You don't want to be a black squirrel.
I think a weasel would have the same stats as a squirrel. Yeah. I'm really upset that they don't have a squirrel in there because squirrel's my favorite animal and they don't have one. I'm upset. Okay, yeah. So you can be.
Why is the squirrel your favorite animal?
I don't know.
Okay, then we'll talk later.
I think it had something to do with like I was always hyper as a kid and I used to climb trees and I was like, well, squirrels climb trees, so and they
They're
got big
also,
fluffy
like,
tails.
Clearly, I'm a squirrel.
Clearly, I'm a squirrel. I'm not a monkey because I ain't got a like appendage tail. So
They're also like brilliant scientists from Texas that live under the sea.
Actually, no, cat is on here.
yeah,
Cats are smart. They can climb a lot of stuff.
yeah, he can be a cat.
So I'll turn myself into a cat.
All right, you have 1 cat's worth of hit points.
Hopefully hit points will not be something I'm going to be needing.
Yeah, so you can sneak in there. Gives you a +4 to your stealth, which is pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna have the party just outside the premises, correct?
I think it says just stealth +5.
Does it?
Yep. Passive perception of 17. Stealth +5. Actually, it's an Arcana +4, which is pretty awesome.
For a cat?
Yeah.
What cat are you looking at?
Cats are
Cat,
stealthy.
tiny beast on the line.
Okay.
Cats don't want to be found. They will not be found. I have like 8 of them.
Oh,
tell you
because
that.
it's using. Do you have stealth as a skill?
No, I do not.
Okay, never mind. I don't care. Whatever.
I'm just looking, like, I'm not looking in the game, I'm just looking on the D&D Beyond thing.
Yeah, I'm too. Mine says +4, but it's whatever. I don't care. It is what it is. All right. So the party is kind of maybe 100, 200 feet away from the premises. Kind of lying in wait in some shrubbery and some trees. And this lone... What kind of cat do you have?
Let's see, it's night.
Black cat?
Yeah, at least a dark cat.
Dark cat. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, proficient. Well, that's why I was asking if he had the skill, because if he had the skill, then he would do that. Okay. Yeah, so you got a dark cat, and you slink through the bars of the gate, of the fence, and under the shrubs, or the hedge that's along the gate, and you kind of army crawl through. Go ahead and make me a stealth check to see if someone sees the cat.
Okay. How about a 21?
21 is wonderful. Yeah, you sneak past just fine. Yeah, they rolled shit on their perception. And you're a cat, so it's just a cat. So you sneak up, coming from... You want to come from, like, the right side of the mansion? I guess that's where you guys are at.
Whichever side makes the most sense.
Yeah, probably from the side then. The back is kind of like on a cliff side, which you, as a cat, could easily navigate.
So this is interesting, because I went and found the cat you were looking at.
Yeah.
Like, I assume you just went to the monsters thing and looked at cat.
Oh, you know what? It's the basic rules cat. Is there another cat?
I just went to my character sheet, went to extras, and then wild shape, and it searched cat. So it has, like, things for wild shape included in the...
It's probably your proficiency bonus that's doing it. Because you're level 5 now, so it's another +1 on top of that. Yeah, actually, that's what it is. Yeah, so you slink in, and you get to the side of this, which you did not go on this wing of the house, this right side. But you see that there is a window about 4 feet up from you, and you see around the back that there is like a service entrance that you would presume would lead to the kitchen around the back side of the house.
I'm going to slink around to the back of the house and take a look at the kitchen.
Okay. You crawl up to like a window and you look inside the kitchen and you see Mary is in there and he's arguing with Clawhador.
Ooh, I want to hear this.
Make me a perception check for through the window. From the
Can I use my
window.
passive perception of 17?
Oh, that works. To the wall! To the wall. So as you're listening, Clawhador's like, I don't want those ruffians visiting Lady Kaya again, Mary. They're ruining her treatments. I don't want you getting involved anymore. I'm taking care of Kaya. And Mary's like, she is my charge too. And I'm not gonna let you bully me around to stop caring for Lady Kaya. And if those ruffians, as you call them, can help her, then I'll allow it. And you just hear them going back and forth over this. And you see Clawhador shove Mary, and he like topples over a kitchen table and falls to the ground, and he's kind of whimpering a little bit. And you see him turn and pull out this shell phone, which is a black shell phone, and it's small, a small little snail with a receiver on the end of it. And you see him talking into it in a whisper, and your passive perception will catch this. And he says, "You have 2 days. Be ready. See you soon." And he tucks it back in, cleans off his hands, brushes some rough off of his shoulders, and walks out the kitchen. And Mary's kind of weeping there, kind of whimpering.
Oh, so it wasn't Mary who had the shell phone.
No, it was Claudor.
Okay. So Claudor has walked off?
Yeah, he has left the kitchen and took a right, which is presumably to his chambers.
And Mary's still kind of whimpering on the ground?
Yeah, he's like slowly getting up, kind of licking his wounds kind of thing.
Okay, I'm going to wait till he kind of clears out and then see if I can't follow where Claudor went.
Yeah, Mary kind of fixes a late snack with like some fruits and some cheeses and a glass of milk, and he puts it on a silver tray and carries it out of the kitchen. And you see even in the low light, you see that his face is starting to change colors a little bit from where he slammed across the ground, as you know, the blood is starting to rush to his cheeks.
Right.
And go ahead and make me a sleight of hand to get through the door or a window.
Okay. 12.
Easy enough. Okay. Yeah, so you go and you reach a claw through and pick at the edge of the window and lift it, and it sticks a little bit, and it does that like wood on wood kind of yelp, like and you wait a little bit and you don't notice anybody noticing it, and with your supple cat body you squeeze through the tight space and leave it open and pop out inside.
Sweet.
And you saw that Claudor left the kitchen and went to the right.
Okay, before I leave the kitchen, I want to look around. You said he was probably brewing this stuff up.
Yes.
So I want to look and see, if there's any signs of what he's been brewing or any remnants or residue.
Mm-hmm. So you look around and you see that there is a kettle for hot water on like a potbelly stove in this kitchen. And you don't even see like a mortar and pestle anywhere. So it looks like maybe he's making the hot water here and then preparing it somewhere else, away from watchful eyes.
Okay. Then I'm going to go and take a right.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a new stealth check for inside the house.
New stealth. It's going to be a 14.
Okay. As you're kind of padding along, you take a right and you look down this hallway, and and you see a couple lines of doors down this hallway. You see one door that's a little bit grander than the others that leads beneath the stairway out into the main entryway. And you kind of look around scouting, and you kind of see some fresh indents in the carpet that Claudor-sized feet have gone straight. So you follow that path straight, and you kind of sniffing out for him. And you get a scent of Claudor, and you see that you sense that he is like to the right, 2 doors down. And you go over and you sniff the door a little bit, and yeah, his scent is strongest there.
Okay. Then can I hang around the hallway there and sort of listen to the door?
So I'll give you a little image. This
And-
is kind of what it looks like at night inside this mansion.
If there's any particular smell, like of the things he's trying to mix up or anything like he's doing, my cat has keen smell and has advantage on perception checks.
Yeah, give me a
Wild
perception
smell.
with advantage for smelling of herbs and spices and caustic materials.
Okay, so the first one's a 9. Ooh, natural 20 on the second one. So that's going to be a 27.
27.
Nice.
Nice. So you smell that unmistakable scent of those two chemicals that were on that list mixing together, forming a very acrid, acidic smell. And you think that he either had just prepared it or is in the middle of preparing it now. And with your passive perception of 17, you hear the clanking of what sounds like maybe a marble on marble, kind of grinding.
Like a mortar and pestle.
Like
sort of
mortar
thing.
and pestle, yeah. You hear that stone on stone grinding, and you smell that caustic smell.
Okay. I would know where Lady Kaya's room is, right?
Correct, yeah. It would be upstairs and back towards the entertaining room. She's on that wing. So essentially it'd be like directly above you and to the hallway on your left.
Okay, I want to make my way up to her room.
Okay. Go ahead and roll
Were
me
any of
one
the
more
patrols that
stealth
we-
check.
We don't have any patrols that like patrolling the inside of the house, or are they all patrolling the outside of the house?
You see, that there is one person that's kind of patrolling the entryway and, occasionally doing a round up and down the corridors. And very rarely do they go up in the time that you've been in here. Does he go up the stairs?
Okay, well I'll time it so he's like out of the way before I head upstairs.
Yeah, you see him come into the hallway you're at, kind of look down, and you duck into the doorway a little bit, just peeking your head out a little bit. He shines a light, turns, faces the other way, and starts walking down the other wing past the kitchen, giving you time to scoot by.
Alright, that's my plan.
Okay, roll me a
go
new
by.
stealth check.
New stealth check. That is going to be a 21.
Beautiful. With your
Rolling
cat-like
rocks tonight.
grace, you stay on the carpet to keep it as quiet as possible. And like a shadow in the night, you dash upstairs. And you don't see anyone. And you move down. And with what you have smelt before, you can try to pinpoint where the tea has moved throughout the house. And you pitter-patter, sniffing each door underneath. You go to the right. You kind of smell that musty scent of like bronze wires, which is to the right, which is that entertainment room that had the piano. And you go further down and you sniff left and you smell it smells like lavender or lavender and vanilla, which is odd, but that wasn't what Lady Kaya smelled like. And you go down a little bit further and you smell the smell of almost necrosis, decaying flesh. Almost like that hospital or nursing home like soap smell.
Yep.
That just smell of death. And you smell that coming from a room to your left.
Do I get the impression that's where Lady Kaya is?
You would assume so.
Okay. And is the door closed?
The door is closed. There's about a 1-inch gap on the bottom of the door.
Let's see. How many wild shapes do I get today?
2 per short rest.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to turn myself another insect of some kind.
Okay.
Let's see.
Stag beetle.
Oh, come on.
I mean, if you wanted to not waste it, you could just unwild shape and open the door.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking that's gonna work out great for me.
You don't think 4X is stealthy?
No? Giant turtle? Turtle?
I'm looking through like the list. I'm trying to find.
I don't think they actually have insects on there. Do they?
Like a centipede or something?
I mean, you could just pick one. I mean,
Spider. Tiny
little
beast
spider. Little spider.
Little
Okay.
spider.
So you crawl in underneath the doorway, and you see Lady Kaya in bed, nice 4-poster bed with gauze, kind of draped down, protecting her from mosquitoes. And you see that her window is open, but a crack to let in some fresh breeze. The southerly winds coming in and blowing a nice fresh breeze into the room. And you see
All right.
Lady Kaya laying there in her luxurious bed.
So I assume that like there's room underneath her bed.
Yeah. It's like a nice 4-poster bed that's got about maybe 6 or 8 inches below it.
Yep.
So you
I'm
can
gonna
crawl
go
in.
underneath the bed,
Okay.
and then like hang upside down so that like if someone just happened to glance under the bed, I would not be seen.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. So you hide under the bed. How long do you want to wait?
Well, I assume if he's mixing up the medicine, that what's his face will be up here sometime soon.
So you see, as you sneak up, you see, you hear a quiet knock on the door. And you feel, because your legs are attached to the bed, that Kaya stirs. And she says, "Yes, hello." And you hear Mary say, "Lady Kaya, I have brought you a snack. Hopefully it'll help you sleep." And she says, "Come in." And you hear the door open, and he brings in this tray and sets it next to her, closes the door behind him. He sits on the edge of the bed and kind of brushes her hair and brings the tray over. And she says, "Mary, you're hurt again. Are you okay?" Mary says, "It's fine. I'll be all right. It's just I slipped and fell in the kitchen. Just a little bruise. It'll pass. Are you doing okay?" "I'm doing all right, but I could be better. I didn't hear any good stories today, so I feel a little down." And she kind of starts nibbling on some food and drinking this glass of milk. Mary says, "Well, what did you think about those people that came in, those heroes that saved our town from the ghosts?" "Oh, I was most happy with that. It's like the stories Monty would tell me. They went in, vanquished the ghostly foes that were plaguing a town, come back and helped the mistress that was in dire needs. It's like a fairy tale." Mary says, "Yeah, it was. I hope that they can really rid us of the evil that plagues our village. I know they stem the tide, but unfortunately I think there's more to be done. More work to do. It's the mastermind that has not been dealt with yet. But if heroes like these are like the heroes in your stories, they will save the day. They'll do what's right. And after a couple of minutes, she finishes her food and she says, "Thanks, Mary. I really appreciate you taking care of me. Claudor gives me my medicine, but you actually care for me. And thank you. I don't know what I would do without you. I suppose I would have long been gone and having to give the estate to you and Claudor to share if it weren't for him.
What?
But you two keep me going." And you hear Mary lean in and kiss her on the forehead. "I won't let anything bad happen to you. I will give my life for you, Miss Kaya." And he takes the tray, and you hear him walk out the door. And you hear steps going down the hallway. And you hear Lady Kaya flipping and flopping, trying to get a more comfortable position in her bed.
I'm just gonna start weaving a little web underneath the bed.
Catch some flies in your meantime. So what's the rest of the party doing?
Waiting for him?
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Wait for it.
My nails.
All right. 4X, is there anything else that you would want to do while you're in the house?
Is there any place, like, does she have like a closet somewhere around?
Oh yeah, she has like a large wardrobe, which would be equivalent to a closet in, kind of like medieval times.
Right, but something more like if I, had to go somewhere and quickly like revert to my normal form, take a short rest.
Yeah, you think you would be able to hide in this wardrobe. It would be equivalent to a closet.
Okay.
it can hold Narnia. It can definitely.
Yeah,
hold
yeah, we definitely have a Narnia closet wardrobe going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have that available to you.
I may just kind of keep an eye out on that. If it gets, because I can stay in the spider form for 2 hours.
Okay, yeah.
So if it starts getting close to 2 hours, I may make my way over to the.
Yeah, so you've been in your spider form for maybe about 10 minutes or so, just kind of listening to her toss and turn, and then you hear the door just open with no announcement, and you see the familiar shoes of Claudor step in, and he brings that same scent that you recognize now as this caustic tea that he's presenting. And he kind of gruffly says, "Lady Kaya, it is time for your medicine. Please drink it quickly." And she says, "Yes, Claudor. I wish you didn't have to serve me at night for it. I don't wish to burden you so much, but I do appreciate what you do for me." And he just says, "Drink it quickly, so that way it will take effect and you can sleep. We don't want you up all night. You won't get any better that way." And so, over the course of about 10 minutes, she's sipping on this tea. Puts it back on the plate. "All right, Lady Kaya. I'll be back in the morning. I'll give you another dose. Hopefully that will do the trick. And you hear kind of rough footsteps stomping out and closing the door behind them a little too loudly and stomping down the hallway. And you hear and she kind of turns over and just a little whimpering, but it's more of a like a wheezing. She clears her throat 3 or 4 times and then is finally able to get a decent breath in, and she lays off to rest.
Okay. As a spider, is it possible for me to make a medicine check?
Yeah, you still have all your faculties.
All right.
You
I
can
want to
crawl
do a
up and
medicine
kind
check
of
on
get an
her.
assessment. You got 8 eyes. You can see pretty well.
Sweet. That's an 18 plus 4 is 22.
Ooh. So what are you looking for with your medicine?
First, did he made her drink the medicine then and there and took it with him, right?
Yes.
No like glass left behind, no tray.
Yep. He sat there and made sure that she drank every drop of it.
Okay. Then, and she's more or less asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as being a small spider, even if she wasn't asleep, you could stealthily make your way to investigate if you needed to. I mean,
Well, I
we
just
do
kinda-
eat 500 spiders over a course of our lifetime, so.
I just didn't want to crawl up on her face with her awake. So I'm gonna crawl on the covers and try to get close to her face and try to smell her breath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you
Okay.
smell it, and you smell that caustic, that tinge. It's covered with mint and licorice, like black licorice and cherry. But you smell that, you know that caustic tinge because you've smelt it pretty much all day at this point. You
Okay.
know what it is.
I want to look at her skin and see if there's any evidence of I don't know, anything I would recognize as a sign of a poison.
Yeah,
Discoloration.
you notice that her veins are more pronounced than they should be for a specific ailment. And you notice that the blue in her veins has a little bit of a tinge of yellow to them. So they begin to start turning this sickly green just on the edge of the veins. So normally when you see the veins, you know how it's kind of bluish, but on the edge, where it starts to round down into the skin, into the hand, you notice that it's starting to get a tinge of a yellow green on the edges of her veins. So it seems like her vasculatory system is beginning to deteriorate.
Okay. So.
You would definitely assume that she's been poisoned.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty confident she's been poisoned. I'm checking my spells to see.
As a
See what
5th
I've
level
got.
cleric, you should have Lesser Restoration?
Well, I don't have it prepared, but I can fix that.
You would have had a chance to change your spells by the time you rested, by the time you got into the house, if you so choose.
Oh, sweet.
It would have been a long rest at that point.
Okay, then I probably didn't need, say, ice knife.
Not for an infiltration mission.
So purify food and drink certainly seems like an interesting one. Wasn't going to be using Thunderwave.
You mean on a stealth mission you wouldn't want to use that?
Detect poison and disease. That seems like a handy one for this mission.
Yep.
And then lesser restoration.
Wait, do you get Lesser Restoration as a druid?
Yep, second level. Lesser
Oh,
restoration.
it's 2nd level. Okay. And I believe that does poisons, right?
Oh, second level spell.
Yeah.
You can touch a creature and end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition may be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
That would be poison. You would know that that's what's ailing her.
Okay, so I can't cast spells in my beast shape form.
Nope.
So I'm going to wait a good 30 minutes. So I'm sure she's asleep, and try to give other people in the house the chance to go to sleep.
Yep.
And then once I've waited, I'm going to like go stand next to the bed, or off the bed and in the floor, and resume my own shape
Mm-hmm. So you get behind her on the side of the bed, and you resume your
towards
turtle
the
shape.
window.
Yep, window side.
So-
Got it.
And then, very quietly, because this is just verbal and somatic components, cast Lister Restoration on her.
And you hear her ragged breath. It was more like asthmatic, almost like begin to loosen, and she's starting to get deeper, more full breaths. And you see that the skin, that yellow green, begins to start to fade, and you notice that it's beginning to become a more vibrant blue in her veins, and that her skin, which was very pale, begins to start to get a tinge of pink to it, and it starts to fill out. You think that over enough treatments that this 3 years of poisoning would be cured.
Okay.
But she seems remarkably better just in the, hour or so you've been in her room. And you don't think it's the medicine that Clahador was giving her.
Yeah. And I'm going to wait 10 minutes, take a short rest. So I can be shape again.
Yeah. You're quiet enough just standing there that you hear footsteps coming across the hallway, stopping and listening, and then turning, and you kind of see that light kind of pour in underneath the doorway with a set of like shadowy feet, and then you see it turn, and you hear the footsteps begin walking back down the hallway.
Okay.
So you can get a short rest while sitting there overlooking Lady Kaya.
So then I will turn back into a cat. Well, actually, first I will make sure the window's open enough for me to get out.
Yeah, it's cracked. So if you needed to move it a little bit, you could.
Okay. And then turn into a cat. And so there's like a tree right outside the window, right?
Yeah, and there's a branch that's actually about 3 or 4 feet from the window, where you see, as you're looking out from the windowsill, that the branch has actually, the bark has been worn smooth in one spot, where you presume someone might have been sitting for many days.
All right. Well, I will make my way out to that tree and down and back to our companions.
Yep, easy enough. So you climb down the tree, hop out through the bushes, go around the outside, avoiding all the guards, and you make it back to your companions.
And I make sure I sneak up behind them and turn it back into a turtle.
Turtle!
Hello, my
We
friend.
don't even notice for at least 2 hours. No.
And he was gone for like a solid hour and a half.
When I come back, I go, hello, my friends.
Yeah. Good to see you're all right.
I believe I am confident enough now to say that Lady Kaya has been slowly being poisoned. Something in the mixture that Kahador has been feeding her is poisoning her. But I heard something quite disturbing as well, that should something happen to her, she intends to leave the estate to Kahador and Mary. So while Kahador seems to be the one involved in the poisoning. I am not entirely sure that Mary is innocent in all of this. The two of them certainly do not seem to get along. I saw Kahador shove Mary down, basically abuse him in the kitchen, but I do not know that he is entirely trustworthy.
Find it hard to believe that you can be sitting around someone's side for 3 years and not know that they're being poisoned.
It is a subtle thing. If it were too, well, obvious, people would suspect. But a slow, lingering illness that just slowly gets worse? It is a devious sort of thing.
So, what are we gonna do about it? Do we care enough to do something about it? Is there a reward?
Well, I took the opportunity while I was there to cast a spell of restoration upon Lady Kaya, and it seemed to make an immediate difference. I don't believe she is fully cured, but I'm confident that given some time I could in fact cure her.
How much time would you need?
My insight tells me that I would need...
You figure, like a week of treatment once a day.
approximately 1 week of treatment if I were to be able to treat her once a day.
If I don't want to stay here a week. If we were to get rid of the problem, the guy poisoning her and leave her alone, would her body eventually heal itself, or do you need to be... Sorry, that sounded me.
I would be most confident if I could cure her before we left. Even if I were to stop the administration of any further poisonings, her body has been ravaged by it.
So that brings us to the next question. If we decided this was worth our precious time and we decided to stay, we would be staying in that mansion, right? Because I'm not gonna like sleep anywhere else now I see what's on this island. Like, I feel like if we're saving the life of the leader of the island, we deserve to sleep in the best of the island. You know? I think that's fair. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna be staying anywhere until we deal with Clawhador.
Well, let's just take him out real quick then. You know, he's just one guy. Cut off the head and the snake will wither. Is that what they say? Something like that. I'm a bird. I eat snakes sometimes.
I eat steaks sometimes.
All right, indoors, rookie.
Well, that place seemed really nice. I'm not worried. You know, they had pretty windows. The lighting was great. It wasn't creepy. There weren't any like scary dolls to be found. Like, I think I'd be really comfortable there. But the other mansion, no, we won't go back there. No. That mansion, yes. Yes, that's
Well,
fine.
I highly doubt Clawhador is going to extend an invitation for us to stay at his mansion.
That's why we cut off his head. Remember? Cut him off.
Well, how do
Very
we...
subtle.
How do we do this? Because we obviously don't want to get in trouble.
But here,
Do we charge it?
let me see that doll and I'll demonstrate how we cut off the head.
Okay, just 1 second.
You have to hold it because I don't want to touch it. But I'd be fine with
So, are we going to charge right in, or can we try to lure him out? Because he has been going through some secret dealings with a shady character.
Which I'm willing to bet is our pirate captain.
Or maybe the ghost. Or the ghost. Air
That's what I
quotes.
meant. Our pirate captain.
Well, we
I mean, I'm
could.
sure there's some way that they signal to each other. If we could intercept that signal and call him out for a meeting, then we'll get him alone.
Did 4X tell us about the phone call?
I pass on everything.
Okay.
So you know of the phone call.
Well,
What was the
Yes.
phone
So
call? My mic
something's
was
happening in
breaking up.
2 days.
Yeah, he said come in 2 days.
which means he's calling for reinforcement.
So do we want to have this done with before 2 days are over? We're going to want to sit around for 2 days and
It
act
means
like,
that
"Oh, no."
in at least 2 days, Klahador is going to have the upper hand.
Who is the administrator of justice on this island?
Probably Lady Kaya, right?
I believe that's
Weird.
correct.
What a bizarre system.
Ugh.
I love Ascari.
We could. I could disguise myself as Jumbo, you know, in his cloak and everything, ask to see him, and then we jump him and we kill him tonight. Say it's an urgent matter that needs our utmost attention. And do it.
Why do we have to be discreet about killing him if he's poisoning her? Like, if we just walk in there and just kill him,
What
one, who's gonna stop us?
what
and two,
evidence
who's
do
gonna
you
kill
have?
us?
what evidence do you have?
We
Well,
have
after he's
just say
dead, we'll just show him the poison.
we could just throw him into the ocean, his dead body into the ocean, and just think, well, he just went on vacation forever.
That works too.
No one would ask any questions. We don't have to deal with any collateral damage. Boom, bada, bing. Problem solved.
Third option, we just get on our ship and leave. And let this town deal with their own problems.
Ooh,
This is a good option.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out exactly what's in it for us by helping this girl who's being poisoned by a close family friend who's dealing with pirates stealing off of the island. That's a lot to take in for people.
Rookie, it may be a lot to take in, but perhaps we should reconsider it in this light. That by letting this Klahador wound fester, his influence over this part of the lands and seas will only grow. And seeing as of how he's got some sort of dealings with these ghost pirates on the island, one would only imagine that as his power and influence grows, we will only continue to be a thorn in his side. Something to be dealt with at a later date, and something I would rather put a stop to now while we still have a means of doing so.
I like the way you think. That makes more sense to me. Cut the flower before it blooms. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just go in there, cut him down.
Just charge it.
Why not? I mean, who's gonna stop us? I mean, I know there's guards, but I mean, we could probably take them.
Apparently, this child will stop you.
And
What child?
it's harder to earn a trust.
The
of a
child that's in charge.
Oh, she would stop us. But, like, she's sleeping right now, so we can have them all dead before she wakes up. And
I
she's
don't-
half poisoned.
I mean, can we kill everyone quietly?
I don't know how quietly, but quickly, probably, yeah.
I think we should lure him out. So that way less people are killed, and then quietly throw his body into the ocean. Or feed him to the badgers.
I'm all for killing him. I just don't care how it's done, honestly. So if we have a way of luring him out, That's
We
cool,
do
too.
know that he makes his rounds to the town for ingredients at least once a day.
Should we? I know this is like really digging into the drama that I said I didn't want to be a part of, but just thinking out loud, should we follow him and see where he's getting this medicine from to see who's actually supplying it to maybe see if there's more?
Oh,
More
that's
parts.
right. You just took off into the skies. We already did just that. We were able to track the ingredients back to the warehouse, and Forexes was able to identify some of the herbs being used.
Oh, well, cool. That's done with. Yeah, I was flying around, catching fish and sightseeing. and
Something about
really-
vomiting and such.
Yeah, I had a bad shellfish. If you don't puke it up, you could die. So it's messy. Don't worry. All good. Glad you guys told me that because I would have never known otherwise.
Take us. We did it.
So then, we already know his morning routine, so we can get him out that way, and then we can kill him tomorrow. Then we can go talk to Lady Kaya. We'll bring her boyfriend, Morty.
Do you think she'll be appreciative if we kill him?
Probably.
What we could
Allow
just
the child to judge him based on the laws of this island.
But that just seems like it might take.
capture him alive.
I mean, it's better than just murdering the man.
He was murdering her in the first place. I think that means that the door is open for murder.
Yes,
You're
we're
sounding
not
a lot
gonna
like
need more
Paul,
evidence.
Sorry.
He was only poisoning her.
Yeah.
He could have murdered her a long time ago if those had been his wishes.
Well, his intentions were clear. He was in the process of killing her.
I think this man has made this child suffer for a number of years, and at the very least he deserves a further extension of his own punishment, not the instantaneous gratification of a short death.
So we
Why are you so good at twisting words around to make them sound better when you want things your way? Because that sounds brilliant if we could just torture him for a long time, too.
I meant more of putting him in prison or such. But if you wish to torture him for an extended period, Rookie, your devices are your own.
Just saying it's a
I
viable
agree.
option.
I agree.
Especially
with
if you want
you, lady.
information.
It
Wait, did you
just seems
just
that if
agree
you
to
don't want
torture
to
her?
be one of, no, that we should capture him alive so they can throw him in prison or whatever they do with him.
But he could. The way that he runs things, it seems like he's the head honcho of the island and twists everyone's arms. I just think we should kill him. Get rid of the problem altogether, so that way there's no chance of him stabbing us in the back. Throw him into the
Or the-
ocean, pretend he just went on a long vacation.
I'm confused. Are you not bound to follow the laws of the places that we go?
We're pirates, Ascari. We do what we want when we want.
To
No,
the people
if
who
you want to
deserve.
come back to this island, do you really want to be a murderer?
Well, as long as we don't make it obvious and we're not caught, then it's not a crime.
And do we really want to come back to this island?
Then
Do
why
we
do
really
this at
want
all?
the world government to hunt us down for whatever deeds we ought to be performed here?
We
Yes.
just can't.
This girl might judge you as murderers, not saviors, if you kill the man, and thus defeating the purpose of you undertaking this at all.
Even if this child is being poisoned by this individual, she still views him very much as a friend. If she's willing to bestow her estate to them upon her demise.
Yeah, but she's a kid.
Precisely, she's a child.
If I can finish healing her, and we can collect some additional evidence about his poisonings, we can take care of both at once. No murder involved.
Yeah, it's really gonna take the fun out of things. Fine, we'll do it your way. We'll sit around for a week. We'll heal the girl. We'll capture the guy alive. But when it all goes wrong, I'm killing him where he stands. Just have you
Sure.
guys know. Okay.
I second that motion.
I have
Very
my
well, then.
Yeah, you
feelings
have my back.
strongly either way. I just don't want to have to deal with this world government that everyone's so afraid of.
Again, I just want to raise the point again. We kill him, make sure he's alone, kill him, throw him into the ocean, and he just went on a long vacation. We don't get.
You do have a mask with his face on it.
Yeah, so I can just
Is
come
the,
up and
is the,
say,
is the objective to just kill the man, or is the objective justice? Because if the objective is just kill him, we should kidnap him and throw him overboard. But I guess what are we trying to do?
get rid of the problem.
To what end? Why go through all the trouble of saving this girl if we're just planning on not coming back here?
Oh,
Who says we're not planning on coming back here?
She just did.
Well, I just don't understand why we would come back here. I mean, I get that, sometimes you might need stuff, but there's other islands. So I was just curious if there was something that was keeping us drawn to this island.
We do already have all of
Story
our
narrative.
papers and documents filled out and in order for this island.
Oh, so that's what makes this island good.
Convenient.
Great.
We have a quest in front of us. We're trying to complete the quest.
So, to help you guys out, the reason why you would want to help the island is like what Ryan put up. You do have documentation that allows you to do free trade on this island. And, helping the island allows you to, even being pirates and getting notoriety, have a safe harbor to land at. And resupply within this sea.
The nicer we are to these people, the less reason they have to look into the legitimacy of our papers.
and if you are to help, reestablish the government in this island, then that just helps you, in future endeavors, because they're not going to report you to the world government.
Okay, so it's like help you.
Yeah, if you make nice at ports, then you're not going to gain notoriety for those particular reasons. Now, you can gain notoriety by defeating other pirates, but if you've been nice with the local governments on an island, then, even with your notoriety, you would still be in good with them.
Okay.
So it's beneficial to have friends on islands when you have to worry about resupplying and, safe harbors and those kind of things. Otherwise, you can just say fuck every island and then you don't have any place to land. You gotta be strategic with
What is it?
Yeah,
shenanigans.
that makes sense. I didn't think of it that way. I'm just like, fuck you, we have a ship, bye.
Which you certainly can do, but that narrows the amount of places that you can go to safely.
Yeah. Just smart. There's a
I
smart
mean, I
way
guess
to
this
say
is
it.
the point we have to ask ourselves is, are we pirates or are we heroes?
Or are you hero pirates that use this to your advantage?
I think we'd use it to our
I feel
advantage.
like as long as we get something out of it, I'm fine with doing whatever, whether that's hero work or not. And seeing that we would get, future safe areas in this place, I could see helping these people out. Whereas if we let the claw rule, we probably won't have safe passage here. So this is really looking out for a future trip. Say we're on the run or something, we could hide out in a haunted mansion that clearly nobody looks at. Type scenarios.
Rookie's okay with hanging out in the haunted mansion.
Okay, I'm not saying Rookie's okay with it, but I'm saying if it were to come down to it, that's a viable hiding location.
And we could just steal supplies from the warehouse.
Blame it on the
Become the
ghost.
new ghosts.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna help this girl. So we can have an island to come to if we have to come to an island. And then
And we have to be prepared for something happening in a couple of days.
Yeah.
yes. And then the big question is, do we want to get Clyde into jail before the 2 days, and then we can have Panala pretend to be him in 2 days to meet with this said person, or do we want to wait the 2 days, see what's happening, possibly be more outnumbered? So yeah. What's the next game plan now that we've decided we're helping this person to have a safe island to go to? My question.
I say we just kill him. And then meet him in 2 days. Meet whatever in 2 days.
Capture him.
Yeah. Well, no.
In the meantime,
Yeah,
we
well,
can
no.
signal
Capture
the
kill.
pirate ship.
Do we know if he's actually in cahoots with the
No, that's why we
ghost?
shouldn't kill him.
Yeah, you don't know who he called when he said be here in 2 days. But the smarter of your group, which would I believe would be Erling with his high intelligence, could deduce that if he's calling someone to be here in 2 days, that they're probably on a vessel and
Within 2 days.
within 2
Travel.
days travel. And they've been to the island before because he didn't specifically say where to come. So you could
Yeah.
deduce that he is aligned with these pirates or with this, operation.
But aren't the ghosts, air quote, don't they have a specific schedule that they adhere to come onto the island, to unload every full moon and then leave, then full moon leave? Sorry.
You would think.
That means that he called him against schedule.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we could always send a lantern signal over to the ship that is still by the haunted mansion. Go
What would
aboard
be-
their ship, deal with as many haunted ghosts as are on board, continue to clean up, and any survivors we can interrogate and ask questions about their involvement with Mr. K.
And then at least in 2 days, if he does call reinforcements, that's one less ship we have to worry about. This sounds like a lot of work for an island. Aren't there other islands that are just easier to deal with?
I mean, that's a good plan. I like that.
I mean, then we could have 2 ships, and I'm sure our captain would be super pleased with having 2 ships.
So we have 3 plans kind of on the table-ish. One is what you proposed, where we deal with the ghost ship, clean up the mess, interrogate the survivors, wait out the 2 days, then confront Clawhador and his plans. Right?
Yeah.
The other plan is to ambush him, capture him, and find out what's happening, then confront the threat in 2 days, or bring him to justice. And the third plan is to ambush him and kill him straight off. Right?
I think those are the 3 options, yeah.
Huh.
I say we talk to Monty and see how their justice system works on this island. He would probably know more about it. He might have an opinion as to what to do with the claw as well. He's more personally involved in the issue. Perhaps he has insight as to maybe how she would feel, or, you know, insight into the situation that we maybe didn't consider yet.
So you would know, you guys have been on the island for roughly 3 days now. You haven't seen any guards. You haven't seen anything that looks like a structure for holding people. Like a prison or a jail. It doesn't appear that this island has had enough trouble on it that it warrants a police force or anything of that nature.
There was a holding cell for undead creatures in the mansion, though.
Yeah, it was just a locked door. It wasn't really a cell.
I thought it was like a bigger door.
No, it was just a laboratory antechamber that was locked off or blocked off. So you do notice that there. I mean, obviously they've been pillaged, maybe every 2 weeks or so or whatever, and nobody's done anything about it. The warehouse has been hit numerous times, and there's no guards posted. There's no watches, around the village.
Okay, so whoever wanted to do this the most justice way, how do you suggest we go about doing it that way? Because I'm all for murdering him straight up and then dealing with consequences later, explaining that he was being.
I mean, we can just kill him and leave. I'm fine with that. But if the objective is to have this girl on our good side, I don't think killing him is the best way to do that. That's all I was saying.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Though, is like, what do you think is the best way to go about it? Like,
letting her capture him, have him. We have to have some evidence about what he's been doing, and if we can get him to confess what he's been doing, or we can show her evidence of what he's been doing, then maybe she will wreak out the justice that she probably is supposed to.
So Forex has some evidence, right? He has a list of ingredients. He has the knowledge of how to concoct this particular brand of poison. And he does know that Clawhador has done it.
But can we convince her of that?
Correct. But he does have the evidence that he was concocting this in his room. So, evidence could be found after the fact if need be. You have that information available to you.
It really just depends on how much you care, because we could just kill him and never come back. I'm fine with that.
Well, like Erling said, it would be smart to have the island to come back to in case future problems were to happen. So, it's good to have a safe spot to go to.
A safe
And
point
we
to
have
fall back to.
the papers, which he mentioned, which were a pain in the ass.
Well,
to get.
in that case, you need to get on the child's good side, and in order to do that, I wouldn't recommend killing this man.
But I feel like being friends with her boyfriend puts us on a good side too.
Mm-hmm.
We explain to him what's happening. Maybe he could sneak in and explain to her.
Why
And
do
then
you
she would-
care about the explanations for the children?
Just saying.
So,
He tells her what's happening to her. Maybe she'd be mad enough and give us the okay to kill him. I don't know. I don't know how to go about this, guys. I'm trying here. I'm trying to make it where we can come back to the island, but I just want to kill him. So I don't know what to do.
I think you need to prove to her that she's being manipulated, and that's no easy task.
so 4X, you notice this as the conversation is going on. That in the darkness, creeping out from outside of the mansion is a figure. And he's walking towards the path of your ship, which is in your direction. And he's being as quiet as he can, tiptoeing, looking over his shoulder to make sure nobody has seen him leave the premises. And he is walking by your little hiding hole. And he turns and looks at you in your general direction and says, I think Claudor is trying to murder Lady Kaya. I need your help. And he continues walking down the path. And that's when we'll pick it up next session.
Wait.
It's already
who's
9
that?
o'clock. When did that happen?
It's
that big beard?
intrigue.
You would note that this little afro with two little horns on the top, sneaking through the night, as is Mary.
Well, Pippi.
Whoa.
Dun dun dun!
Another cliffhanger.
I feel like you didn't make it like any farther to it.
Says the demon. Shut up, Ryan.
He's got horns!
So do you.
But mine are on the inside, Red.
Mine are on the inside.
Wild card. We just send Erling in there and he kills everything as a monster, and we don't even associate that he's with us, and we're not in trouble.
That's right.
And
So
the guy's dead.
now that is the best idea I've heard so far.
Just act like it's some wild, crazy animal that came out of the haunted mansion and murdered the claw. And then it's like, well, that sucks, and we'll be the heroes. Like, we took care of that creature. Don't worry, he won't be bothering you again. Psych, it was Erling. Obviously, he won't bother you.
That sounds like a plan I used to have in Skyrim when I didn't want to be caught when I had to kill someone. I just go in as a werewolf, kill him, run out, then come in and go, oh no! How did this? Oh, that's terrible.
And it worked, didn't it?
It did.
Loot,
Figured
loot,
out
loot,
what
loot,
to do,
loot.
guys.
Well, good session, everyone. I loved it.
It was a good session.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of planning.
We had stealth. We had intrigue.
But what is everyone's alignment?
I don't care.
Play it as it lies. I don't like alignments to begin with.
I think they have their purpose, but like I'm also not like just like
You have to
Stick
do
to
it
your
because of
alignment.
your
Stick to your alignment.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I like it as a baseline for where you
Calls for
start your character, and then you move left or you move right, depending on
Yeah.
the situation.
I mean, I don't even like the idea of lawful evil, like lawful good, like all those things. It's just like, people are more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah, like, while Iskari might not always have, like, she doesn't have problem with murdering somebody. She's like, but does that help you, like, accomplish your goal? Not necessarily.
Yeah, doesn't have anything to do with
That's-
alignment. It's what your character would do.
So
Or
like,
approach
that's
the
why
situation.
I almost always pick chaotic neutral because I feel like that can go any way always.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start not putting my alignment on my characters.
To be
I don't need it.
determined.
I mean, it just depends. On certain characters like Rafal, like it makes a difference to me. On Iskari, it makes less of a difference to me because, like, she's lawful in a way because she follows a code, right? But like, is her code like what like,
Evil?
this society would consider lawful? I don't know, right?
Yeah.
This society might consider it barbaric because it's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah, and you go to a different society, and it's like, that's the way of life. That's the law. That's the law of the land. You survive or you don't.
This is how we do it.
How it is. Well, I really enjoyed this session tonight, guys.
Yes, I had a lot of fun. I need my Sundays. They're like therapy. Good.
I have another question, and it's not related to this campaign, but it was an idea that I was kind of floating around on Skype, which is if I were to have like produce flame, and I were to like have a mouthful of oil, and I were to like flamethrow it, would the flame still be in my hand, or would that be me throwing it, and just have a little flamethrower in my hand?
If you want to flavor it that way, then yeah, it would just be you throwing it. As far as mechanically.
So
I
I
mean-
need to recast it whenever I want to do it again, or
Well, yeah, you'd have to re-drink oil, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
the flame's still there.
Wait, as far as like when I play a character, if I have a spell that I want flavored a certain way, as long as it's mechanically the same damage and range and all that, it's and the same action economy, flavor it however you want.
Yeah. Like, mechanically, I'd probably rule that similar to, I think, the Dragon's Breath spell. Something like that.
Yeah, like if
Or,
you
like,
were a
since you're making
dragonborn,
use of your action to cast the spell, like, that's your action to make it into an attack kind of a thing. So, if you're, like, spraying flames with oil, sure.
Yeah.
yeah, like me personally, I'm all for flavor your spells however you want them to be. I mean, the mechanics are there to make balance, so as long as they fall within the mechanics of the spell, if it's nothing like you hold a ball of flame in your hand and then cast it out, then that's fine. Like if you want to say you click your fingernails together and it creates a spark and you blow the fire out and it does the same damage as the spell, go for it.
All right.
I mean, I honestly prefer that over the standard spells because it just makes it your own.
Personalized touch.
Personalize it. That's what I've been doing with Agrimar. Yeah.
With the strength base, yeah.
Yeah, I went through and I went through and on D&D Beyond, I went through and put a note on all the spells that I use commonly, and I wrote a little note on how he performs the spells versus what the spells do normally.
Like with Chill Touch, I always changed the hand instead of it just being a skeletal hand. It was like a Bryn hand or little child's hand or just
Yeah.
little things you can always add.
I like to rename the spells.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just love doing that. It's like if you come up with something creative for it, just go for it, man.
Do it.
Like Cookie, when I was playing my druid who had produced flame, that's how she produced her flame. Like if she was casting the spell, she would do very similar to what's his name? Colonel Mustang from
I was gonna
Full
say,
Metal
is
Alchemist.
she wearing white gloves and she snap her fingers? And...
Well, I flavored it as, since she was a lizard folk and she had claws, that she would create the spark with her claws instead of snapping her fingers, but it was basically the same motion. And so when she would cast her produce flame at someone, she would flick her nails together, click them together, create the spark, and then shoot the produce flame at someone. Like that just seems more fun to me than, oh, she cast a ball in her hand and then she throws it like a baseball. Yeah.
Which is still cool.
It's magic fire
okay?
after all.
It's just magic fire. It is still cool. You could cast a ball of fire and throw it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I think sometimes it just looks cooler if you just like summon a ball of fire in your hand, and
Oh,
then it just
right.
shoots off like with nothing but a thought.
It looks like Zenyatta from Overwatch. You got balls of fire and they just start shooting out.
I don't know Overwatch, so
Yeah.
sure.
It's pretty cool. All right. Well, we haven't done this in a while. Any thoughts, concerns, criticisms?
Bedtime.
Okay, Ben.
That's about the only thought I got. But no, good game. I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah, I can't think of any criticisms or anything like that. I've enjoyed it. I know I have to bounce out a lot, but I enjoy it.
We're good.
Well, good night, everyone.
Hi, Ben.
Have a good night.